Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
We have a Masters champion. Rory McIlroy finally did it. He becomes the fifth player to complete golf's triple crown in the win. The Masters playoff against Justin Rose. San Antonio Spurs season came to an end yesterday. They beat the Raptors 125-118, led by Keldon Johnson's 23 and Steph Castle's 20. They came from 22 behind. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Happy Monday. It's the Morning Huddle. I know you can't see me, Rob.
I can barely hear you. There you are.
There
you are. You're right beside me.
Hey now. How you doing, Robert? It's a special day because we are not in studio.
Could you tell?
I can't tell. I mean, you look like you're in the Blair Witch Project.
I do.
Very.
I see your shoulder.
I know. It's there. I'm here. Hello.
There he is.
Here we go. Enter studio. Here I am.
Hey, there he is.
I am.
Now you're official.
Here is I. Good morning, everybody. Now we're ready. Now we're cooking with grease, as they say. But I've got a halo over my head. It looks good. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna
go with the light off.
Have the light off. No way. Are you crazy? There's
a big glare. Huge.
We're gonna grow mosquitoes.
There's wolves.
We're gonna have. Hey. Speaking of, on the way out of my house this morning, anybody who's listening in the Babcock Scenic Loop.
The what?
Babcock Scenic. You said Babcock. There's a bobcat. I saw legitimately a bobcat this morning.
Rob,
on Babcock Road.
You know you live
just south of Cotton.
You live in South Central Texas.
I've lived in where I live now. We've been out on this property since the early 90s. I've seen one bobcat.
Really?
I mean, not that I know they're not there. I know that they're out there, but to see one is just ridiculous. And in all of my life, I think I've seen in the wild 4
really
bobcats. Yeah, I know they're out there. But I just, how often do you see? I mean, I just don't see them.
I don't know. I've seen probably 100 of them.
Bobcats.
Yeah.
Not around my property.
When I was a kid, my dog used to fight with bobcats.
Wow.
So sometimes he would just come home with a bobcat.
This guy was turned. I wouldn't want to fight this guy. He turned and looked at me like I had interrupted something very private as I came over the hill.
Yeah, you're not supposed to see him.
Hide. That's just it. When you see one, that's of concern. But it was middle of the night.
Yeah,
but he was
if he's hanging out at your house at noon, now you should.
Dude, that's disconcerting.
Well, friends, we are on location at the Golf Club of Texas, and we are here for what is it? A semi-annual?
It's a biannual. We do it twice a year.
What isn't semi-annual and biannual the same?
Semi is every other year. Bi is we do it twice.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, yeah, I didn't realize that. Oh, now I know the difference. All right. Well, our biannual golf tournament, the spring edition out here at the Golf Club of Texas. What is this? Would you consider this the Southwest side?
Yeah. Okay. We're not. I don't think they would. I think anything south of 90 and west of 35 in San Antonio they just kind of quantify that as the Southwest side. So yeah.
So this falls in the
well, we're kind of north of 90, but
it's off of 90. It barely falls in
I can see the other side of 90.
Yeah,
I can with the lights we see. That's the other side.
You can hit a golf ball over the other side.
No, I can't.
I mean, you could if you got closer to it.
We get pretty close. I mean, we're right at 211 and Highway 90 for those unaware for the golf course of Texas.
Okay, well,
beautiful place.
We'll be out here. We'll do our regular show out here till 10, and then we'll drive around on a cart and probably drink some beer.
That's the plan.
Probably duff around a little bit.
I'm gonna pull a Rory. I'm gonna start slow and end fast.
I think whatever you do, whatever you do, first time you hit a golf ball today, did you bring your clubs today?
They're in my car.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first time you hit a ball, whatever happens, just drop to your knees like Rory did.
And bend over.
Yes. Oh.
I can't believe I let this get to overtime. I can't believe I almost gave this up.
I'm so great. That's what you need to do. Yeah, I guess that's where we'll start the day with old Rory Mack getting the job done. First of all, on our group chat, I didn't realize this. Joe Reinagle is like
he's a Rory type.
He's very anti-live.
Oh, he hates the live because it's not competition. It's silly.
Why is it not competition?
Because they already got paid. I mean, the way he looks at it, it doesn't matter. These guys are getting paid whether they win or not. And they walk around in shorts. They only play 54 holes. It's funhouse golf.
Okay. And Joe is very, very serious about golf. Is that the thing?
Well, I think, I don't know. I'm not of the golf ilk, but I know enough of these golfers that were genuinely pissed at a lot of these livers. I myself, if they had come to me and said, we're going to give you $100 million for the next 10 years, no matter what you do, I'd have been on the first plane to Dubai.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'd have been the first one going, or to not Dubai. Let's give credit to where it's due, to the Saudis. I'd have been the first one there. So I'm not going to quibble. I do get the argument, though.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's one of those. Okay, they're playing golf in a different league. It's the rules are different, but who cares?
As long as they're still winning majors. Now, if
Major League Baseball players get paid whether they win or lose games.
Oh, every other athlete does too.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. The golfing thing, it never quite made sense to me of why they were so mad. But I do think that Joe is like, where's the competition? The thing about golf is you eat what you kill. And the livers don't have to do that anymore.
That's very fascinating to me. That's the hill he's choosing to plant his flag on. But okay, I don't care if guys play in live or not. But I mean,
most of the guys that went live, I didn't like. You know what I mean? Most of them that went that way, kind of, I wasn't surprised.
There was a lot of Brooks and Brysons.
Yeah, a lot of those.
Okay.
So it was no great loss to me. But I do think that if the livers, they have to continue to be or going to have to be competitive, or not playing a competitive schedule, but for the four majors might prove detrimental. But that's their loss. They already got the money in the bank.
Well, I would say in a way it is a competitive schedule because there's plenty of good golfers over there.
Oh yeah, but
it's not like they're playing against.
I'm not here to defend or deny the livers. I just get those that are angry with them. I understand the argument.
I get like saying, "Oh, I prefer this to this," but being angry about it is kind of weird.
Well, I mean, on a day like the Masters, you do kind of get those and them, us and them kind of a thing. It's one of those.
Yeah, I'm not
for the rest of the year.
I'm not team PGA or team live. They're all just a bunch of golf dudes.
Well, I think a lot of it started with if you liked Phil Mickelson way back when.
Phil Mickelson.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, if you liked Greg Norman or Phil Mickelson at some point in their career, whether you appreciated their game, their clothes, or whatever, you probably didn't mind the live. If you didn't like Greg Norman and you didn't like Phil Mickelson, you probably still hate the live for a lot of reasons. And I think it goes back to the original personality.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not. I'm not one to get too charged up about it either way. But
I wasn't that into it.
But you know what? Congrats to Rory. A guy like he's had such a hard life, that it feels good to see him actually get a win in life. It seems like things have been.
We should all have to travel the hard road.
Yeah. A lot of people have noted that Rory's had a real uphill battle.
He did fall ass backwards into this. Let's not kid ourselves. It'll be lost in time because he's a grand slammer and the green jacket holder and all that. But that was a pretty crappy final round. Now, I know he did it at the end, but it was kind of like a Super Bowl where the Chiefs win by a point late, and you're like, well, you did it. It wasn't pretty, but you got your three-peat or whatever it is. You did it. You got the grand slam, but man, it wasn't charging toward the green jacket and the grand slam at all. And he hit the timely shots. I mean, and I heard it earlier on the 5 o'clock show. I appreciate the championship arc that, he had to fight through adversity and get it done, but it certainly wasn't a command performance to take the green jacket and the slam home.
Well, kudos to Justin Rose. I guess kudos. A guy who wasn't expected to be in the mix. And remember, he had the day one lead and then obviously played like garbage for the next 2 days and then said, you know what, here I come on day 4.
Cracked his knuckles, so let's do this.
It's like a sandwich filled with poop, but on like a delicious, crispy brioche bun. So it's if he would have put in a little less poop in the middle, it would have been a hell of a tournament for him. But at the end of the day, you get the playoff. Rory wins it.
Golf needed it too.
Did they?
I think so. We need a hero.
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember Will said Rory and Jordan Spieth are the two guys that move the needle for golf.
And we need a hero. It's good. We needed something to kind of peg the needle a little bit away from Scheffler, who is so boring.
What do you mean? He's a thug. He got arrested.
Yeah.
Like
even he managed to even make that boring. He makes dad jokes about it now. So come on, man. So golf needed this.
Well, good for him. Good for golf.
Good for golf.
Yeah.
Like the Royal Golf.
Now we're going to have the real golf. The real tournament kicks off today.
Yes.
It's nice that the Masters was kind enough to do a lead-in for us.
Mm-hmm.
But now you want to be a real champion? I don't know if Rory even had time to get over here. I know he was on the list of guys that were scheduled to compete, but I think maybe the fact that he did a playoff.
No, we don't play favorites. This thing sold out 2 weeks ago. He had his chance.
I know, but I'm saying he, as the Masters champion, I think has an automatic in.
Well, if our returning champions don't come.
But he did have a playoff yesterday, so maybe he's a little too tired.
No, we don't need his ilk here.
Okay, well, fine. We won't have him.
No, I don't want
Beat it, Rory. Suck it. So we'll crown a new champion out here who will be an even bigger champion than Rory, and will probably net a similar prize to what Rory netted yesterday. I don't know, somewhere in the range. We'll be giving out the prizes, Rob and I.
I'm going to make some. I brought my own house-made pimento cheese for anybody who'd like it. I've got it sitting in my trunk right now.
I don't like pimento cheese.
Well-made pimento cheese is pretty good, but it has to be well-made, like real pimentos, some spice to it. The cheese can't be soft. It needs to be kind of a substance to it. But if it's made right, it's pretty damn good.
It's not for me.
It goes down
for me.
Yeah, well, I know. It's one of those things. It's an acquired taste, but it's good with a cold beer.
I've never understood the idea of a sandwich with only cheese on it anyway.
You don't like grilled cheese?
A grilled cheese is the only exception. But like there's people who eat cheese like they don't like cold cuts, so they'll just put a bunch of cheese and condiments on a sandwich.
A good cheese sandwich isn't bad on good bread if you have the right ingredients.
That's it. That's like what?
Well, I mean,
where do we draw the line?
You settle on it.
Do you have a lettuce sandwich or
if you had a good piece of
mustard
cheese
sandwich?
Well, no. Well, that's if you're. I mean, we all have had our desperate meals, our poor meals. But if you have a good piece of cheese and you have a good piece of bread and you have it and you just put a piece of cheese on the bread, do you find that gross?
No, but I don't call it a sandwich.
No, but if you the right circumstance, just one more piece of bread and you got yourself a little bit of a meal, a cheese sandwich.
Now there's too much bread to cheese ratio.
Well, if it's a good, like I said, good bread and good cheese.
Yeah. I'm also the guy, when you do a charcuterie, I don't really need crackers.
No, I like the crackers.
I'll take 2 pieces of meat and put a piece of cheese between them and eat them like that.
I need a variety of crackers. I'm hooked on this cracker that looks like a roofing shingle. It's
super crunchy?
It's super crunchy.
Oh,
and it's like,
I don't like that.
Put together like sesame seeds. It's like a giant, those things when you get the best Chex Mix in there and they have little sesame,
those rye chips?
Well, it's not a rye chip, but it's in with those. But it's like brown. It has little sesame seeds in it.
Okay.
Well, they make a cracker out of that.
I
could eat it on its own.
I don't like really crunchy crackers.
Well, this one would.
It can break a tooth.
Yeah,
maybe?
it could crack a tooth.
Yeah, I don't like that.
If I under a hurricane situation, I could use that to plug a hole in my roof.
Okay. Well, hey, there's always time.
I like that.
If the hurricane hits San Antonio, you'll be prepared. All right, we've got plenty to discuss today. The NBA playoffs are set.
Spurs are done.
Oh, the Spurs aren't playing anymore?
Well, they played yesterday. They went out with a bang, not a whimper.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the playoff matchups. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, we do have some road work on 35 southbound. Olympia Parkway to 1604. They're in the process of picking up those cones, but for now, still the roadway reduced to 1 lane, still has you slow from Evans. On 1604 west on I-10 to 281, that's about a 17-minute ride. Should take you about 10-12 minutes. 1604 north on I-10 to 35. On I-10 eastbound, 410-1604, 5-6 minutes. And 281 southbound, 1604 to Warsbach Parkway. That's about a 5-minute ride. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
If you owe money to the IRS, they'll come after you until you are flat broke. Don't just roll over and take it. The IRS has changed. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a huge break, as much as 87%. Haven't filed a return for years? It's time for Guardian Tax. Their happy clients are celebrating.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Is tax debt ruining your life? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Visit GuardianTax.com or call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh. Did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, we are going to be live out at the Hangar Bar.
That's the after party for our golf tournament. That's right. The Golf Club of Texas in the morning, the Hangar Bar in the afternoon. Jason Minix will be back, and we're going to have a lot of fun. You need to be there. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle live. You're looking live, folks, from the Golf Club of Texas.
The family model golf cart just went by. I want that one.
They got one at my apartment complex like that.
For the potential leasers.
Yeah, they ride them around. They got it's got 3 rows.
Oh, the Cadillac.
Oh yes,
the
3
dually.
rows. The NBA playoffs, Rob. We are set, friend. We've got at least we've got the play-in set. I guess we can't be all the way set until
Friday.
The play-in games happen, but we've got Orlando against Miami, Atlanta against Chicago. Golden State ends up in the play-in. They'll take on the Mavericks. Memphis against the Kings.
Why don't we just call this the playoff?
I mean, it kind of
you know why we don't call it a playoff? Because they don't get playoff shares.
Oh, you don't get anything?
I think you get a game check.
Okay.
You get an 83rd game check.
Okay. And maybe an 84th if you're you're lucky. But yeah, you don't get a cut of the.
I don't think there's playoffs. That's why they're very cautious and careful to say play-in, not playoff.
No, that makes sense.
But it's playoff.
I get the, having more teams in the mix at the end is a good thing for the NBA.
Yeah. I love this. I appreciate the fact. Well, I both appreciate and find it silly that teams like the Chicago Bulls and the Orlando Magic are playing in the next couple of days.
Right.
But, I mean, other than that, at least they got a reason. And as a team that went and watched their 82nd and final game yesterday in front of a mixed audience and a team that didn't care, I wish there was a reason to care about a game, even with a losing record like the Bulls. I mean, at least they're still playing.
I also noticed, is this the first time they've done it, or they always do this? I don't think they always do this. Every team played yesterday. Like nobody played on Saturday, and they wanted. They wanted to balance it out where nobody had like a competitive edge going into the thing. And it's never been that way before, right?
Not to my knowledge. Although it wouldn't surprise me that they had official closing day, but. Every day, you hope for the best, and you got a bunch of playoff things in play. But there was only like 2 games that mattered.
Yeah,
yesterday.
but when I saw on Saturday, I'm like, oh, what's going on in the association today? Nothing.
And I noticed some of the nationally televised games were not the good games. It wasn't like they were going to flex into the good ones. They didn't flex. They broadcast some bad ones.
Well, there are plenty of bad ones to go around.
Yeah,
plenty of bad ones to go around. But yeah, that. The game that really ended up mattering yesterday was that Clippers Golden State game, and much like the Masters playoff, went to overtime, and the Clippers get it done.
Hottest, what did you just call it? Fish grease? They are hot. Man.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't want to play Clippers.
The Clippers get to go home and chill, and the Warriors have to play in the play-in now. So that was a huge win for the Clippers. Of the games that we do know who's playing, we know the Knicks and the Pistons are going to be a playoff matchup. We know that the Pacers and the Bucks will be a playoff matchup, and the Bucks having to go on the road for that one. By the way, they will be the
that series. The Pacers can, if they win this series, all thing will be right with the Pacers. If they can beat Milwaukee in round 1. Carlisle, the Pacers are all going to be very happy.
And do you trust Milwaukee in the playoffs? It doesn't seem like lately you can.
No, I still think Milwaukee going to beat them, but this is one.
I don't think Milwaukee's won a playoff series since they won their title.
Probably not. I think that the Pacers were so bad this year that I think they can rectify and look forward if they get it done, which will give them enough, I think, for at least a game or 2. But they should beat Milwaukee.
And I think we got some really interesting playoff matchups in the West. We've got Minnesota, who was the team on fire at the end of last year. They go to the Lakers, and the young Bucks against the old dogs.
And remember what Luka did to the Timberwolves last year. I mean, he destroyed them single-handedly. So that's crazy how he landed with the Lakers and he gets them again.
And then we've got the Nuggets and the Clippers. I mean, that is going to be fascinating. Those two teams finish with the exact same record, but they do it in different ways. The Clippers kind of soaring to the finish line. The Nuggets
feel like they have an excuse to lose.
Limping a little bit.
Feel like they have an excuse.
And we're set up where the Rockets could end up playing the Warriors. Depending. The OKC could end up. I don't know. I mean, I guess OKC couldn't play the Warriors. That would be the one exception they couldn't play. But OKC may end up with Memphis or Sacramento. But
they'll get their just desserts. I mean, Sacramento or Memphis. I don't see anything more than 4 games. I mean, I think sweeps are imminent.
And then in the Eastern Conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers and Celtics await their opponents as well. Again, none of those teams that made the play-in in the East have a better than a 500 record. Probably lambs to the slaughter going up against those two teams. The Celtics especially playing some great ball right now down the stretch. So good to have at least a semblance of the playoff set.
And really not, knock on wood, injuries aren't really an issue right now. Teams aren't those that matter. Have everybody that's pretty fully functioning. We're not nursing anything that could prohibit one of the top 4 or 5 teams to win it because they've got somebody hurt. So
no major ones.
No, I mean everybody dinged up at the end of the year, but nothing that is going to keep guys or keep a team from winning because their best dude just isn't going to be available, at least not yet. So it looks like exactly what we hoped for. I just sitting in the Frost yesterday, hearkening back to the AT&T years, it just sucks. I'm so glad yesterday was over. I just yearn for the days when games mattered. I just want a game that matters.
I get that. Yeah. It has been a while for Spurs fan. I had hopes that it could be this year.
And even if it was just for a game, don't you wish today we woke up knowing we got a one and done, we got one game, we're playing Golden State, a team we hate, we're going to have to beat them twice, but, we can, maybe, kind of thing. I wish we woke up just with that little bit of, man, we need to do it.
No, I don't want that.
Well, that's the next step.
It is, but I don't want that, especially this year, because I don't want.
Oh, not this year. Shoot, we'd be awful. But if everything would have maintained, Wemby healthy, Pop coaching, we make the trade for De'Aaron. Who'd have thought Chris Paul would have played in every game? And we had some things that worked out pretty right.
Yeah.
But the best things about us didn't, and we're just not there. And even though Chicago and Orlando probably don't deserve to be anywhere near this, at least they're waking up this morning with a little bit of playoff atmosphere. Wake up, and if we get it done, we could shock the world. And I don't even get to do that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's shocking Oklahoma City this year, so it's probably
no. And certainly not those two teams I mentioned, but at least you got a chance. At least they're playing today.
Listen, man, the idea that and just the idea of packing the building one more time with some fans with something to look forward to. Let's hope that next year that's the situation we're in. I think you and I both thought that would be the situation we'd be in right now.
I don't think there was anybody around the Spurs who didn't think they would be in this situation. I mean, it's shocking to look at our record. Considering what we've looked like since January the 1st. I mean, our record is actually not humiliating considering the circumstances that they went through. All in all,
no, you're right. But I'll look at both sides of it. The Spurs fought hard considering the hand they were dealt. The Spurs also, when everybody was healthy and things were the way they were supposed to look, they weren't playing that well anyway.
No, they were a work in progress. There's no doubt. But when you see 34 wins and you consider this was without a coach and without your best player most of the year, I had no idea. This is worthy. Somebody's going to have to come by and see us today.
What is this?
This is our Fiesta medal, man.
Oh, Fiesta. That's my first Fiesta medal.
This is his first medal.
I've never had a Fiesta medal. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that.
This is huge.
Do I wear this around all day?
You're going to, well, yes. Well, you can.
Or do I have to get a Fiesta costume before?
It's not so much a costume. Those that collect get these,
a bandolier, sash?
A sash.
Okay.
So you don't mess up your clothes. But this is all
where would I get a sash?
Oh, you have to have someone like a chili queen make it for you.
I need to find a chili queen.
Don't we all?
My wife would be so mad if I said, "Oh, babe, guess my chili queen made me this bandolier, this sash."
Vic, you got a chili queen?
No, I don't.
You don't.
Damn right he doesn't. He used to. His wife killed the chili queen.
Yeah.
I think we all
May
need a
she
little
rest
chili
in
queen
peace.
in our life.
When does Fiesta start?
2 weeks.
In
2 weeks.
2 weeks from today, we will kick this sucker off.
All right. Let's hit another break. They're starting to turn the lights on out here, baby. You want to get out here and practice? The putting green is set up. The driving ranges, they're ready for you.
That's what Rory would have done.
That's Rory practice.
He did.
He practices golf every day. That's how he wins the Masters. What have you done today? Have you practiced golf at all? Probably not. Now's your chance. It's the Morning Huddle live from Golf Club of Texas on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, we do have some road work on 35 southbound. Olympia Parkway to 1604. They're in the process of picking up those cones, but for now, still the roadway reduced to one lane, still has you slow from Evans. On 1604 west on I-10 to 281, that's about a 17-minute ride. Should take you about 10-12 minutes. 1604 north on I-10 to 35. On I-10 eastbound, 410-1604, 5-6 minutes. And 281 southbound, 1604 to Wurzbach Parkway. That's about a 5-minute ride. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut quality water softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Ow. Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door?
Or is it more than
Dr. Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's playoff time in basketball, and to make games more exciting, make sure you download the Underdog app, one of the leading sports apps out there. And Underdog just became one of the best places to make picks during the playoffs with their extender promo. With the extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one, whether your entry wins or loses. The longer the series, the bigger the boost. So download the Underdog app, sign up with promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Let's go!
Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
6:35 on the morning huddle. Sun's trying to peek out. Sun's up, guns up.
I trust the fact that it will.
I think it will.
I'm pretty comfortable. Although we got a big old beautiful moon.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing the sun's gonna. If I were a betting man, I would say if we keep our eyes maybe to the east, the sun will pop up eventually.
Sooner than later, too.
We were talking about the NBA playoffs as they wrap up the regular season. We'll get the first of the play-in games tomorrow. Then tomorrow and Wednesday is when those things will kick off, and then they don't really know the exact schedule. They kind of leave this week open to pick, so that way we know how many games we don't know how many games they've got to play. I'm one of those guys. Like, I want the play-ins to be one and done. I want to get this thing over with.
You want one kind of dramatic.
Do you?
I don't personally. I want to get to the big time stuff, but at the same point, I'm not going to bemoan the fact that I love watching an upset now and again, and I'll never forget Denver or the Rockets, those teams that came from nowhere and knocked a big team out. But for the most part, I want to see a slugfest and a championship battle by the time we're in June.
It's so. I mean, you got to think about the idea of an 8 beating a 1. It's so rare to begin with, and now they have to they got to play a whole nother thing before they even have a chance to do that.
Yeah, the best teams.
Difficult.
The best teams win. No, I cannot remember, apart from injury riddled years, by the time you get to a champion, you don't go, well, that team that lost in the second round was probably better. You rarely feel that way. You can feel down about the playoffs in a way that your favorite team might have played. But for the most part, by the end of the year, I'm always pretty comfortable with the fact that the best team won. You know what I mean? And you can't say that about most professionals teams because of the one and done idea.
Well, speaking of the playoffs wrapping up, did you see what happened in hockey?
I saw Ovechkin get a couple, but
okay.
I didn't see
what's happened for the first time ever.
Oh, I know. Is this good or bad?
I think this is bad.
It's bad.
This is bad. I mean, the first time in history. So the original 6 hockey franchises, Detroit, Boston, Chicago, the New York Rangers, Toronto, and Montreal, all 4 American teams of the original 6 have missed the playoffs for the first time in history. So, Detroit, Chicago, Boston, and New York, these are all, kind of legacy franchise. They are legacy franchises. Yeah. So to have none of them in the and think about, when I was a kid, Detroit was always good. Chicago was always good.
Yeah.
And now they're laughingstock teams.
Well, I don't get what's. It seems to me that's a good thing. New blood. I mean, granted, they're probably losing the diehard viewers.
This is like the Celtics and the Lakers missing the playoffs.
We've survived as an NBA. I remember the Lakers being terrible. I certainly remember the Celtics being terrible for a decade or so. So, we carried on. Now, I do think if I'm Bettman in the NHL as a whole, you've lost all of Boston and all of Chicago. You have to be a true diehard fan. So when you lose your biggest cities, I can see where you're kind of concerned. But, I don't have a problem with Columbus or St. Louis or getting another small market team to get in there.
As the model shifts and teams like Columbus exist and Vegas exist, those teams are going to take up spots. But I think you always hope that you at least have one or two of your old school, diehard teams that are still hanging around and competing.
Now, how long has it been since a Canadian team won the Cup?
A million years.
So they've survived it, and they're they're the homeland of this game. So
yeah, but we don't really care about them.
I agree. So I find it amazing, quite frankly, that it's taken this long. I mean, this game's 100 years old. And this is the first time that all six, not one of the six, hadn't made it.
Not all six missed it. All four of the American original six missed it.
Oh, I thought all six of the original.
No.
So only the four originals.
Toronto and Montreal are
so they are. Well,
they're hanging in there.
It's a random number, but
just the fact that the four old school American hockey franchises, none of them are going to be around, kind of a big deal, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a huge deal. But for me, I look at it as a win. I look at it, if I'm Bettman, I'm finally to the place 100 years later where the newer franchises are actually outplaying the old ones.
Yeah, and Montreal, as it sits, they are in a battle for the last playoff spot, them and Columbus. Look, Montreal's got the lead on them with, I think they've got 2 games left.
2 games.
But Toronto's safely in. They're the best team in the East, or the best team in their division, not the best team in the East. But so it could be 5 out of the 6, but likely going to be just the 4 American teams. I don't know. I wanted to ask you, like, if we had a playoffs where it was like the Knicks, the Celtics, the Sixers, and the Lakers were all out, is that a good thing or a bad thing? In general, I think that's a bad thing.
I think you lose a lot of viewers' eyes just because they're not interested, but also because they're the OG cities, I think they're truer fans. I think if you're a Boston hockey fan, you're probably still watching hockey, not glued to it like before. But I get the sense Chicago, Detroit, those 3 cities are soccer or hockey towns that they're still going to tune in. Like, I'm still going to watch the NBA playoffs, even though my team has nothing to do with it. But I knew my team wasn't going to have anything to do with it, and I'm not mad at the league because I'm not there. And maybe there's some of that the Boston types are, screw it. If I'm not in the playoffs, what's the point? I'm not even going to watch. But I can't imagine that's the situation. I think this is a good thing for hockey. I appreciate the idea that a Columbus can be competitive and get there just because they're smarter than the other guys and not just because they're a legacy franchise that gets all the stars just because they're a legacy franchise and people want to play in Chicago.
The bad news is not only did those original 4 franchises not make it, neither did Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Buffalo, like a lot of the the American big time hockey towns. Their teams suck.
When you put it in that frame, when suddenly it's not just those 4s, but it's other traditional powers,
all the old schools. So it's like
whatever their methodology is for building teams and maintaining with draft order and free agency. If you're looking to keep things equal, it's working. Whatever their framework is, if you're looking for ideally mediocrity is the goal for everybody being, 500, where everybody's got a chance. Whatever hockey's doing seems to be working.
Yeah. But when you see Tampa, Florida, Carolina, Vegas, that those teams
Nashville.
Yeah. Well, Nashville's out too. They suck. But when you see all those teams, Minnesota's making it, like the new Minnesota team, not even the old one. It's like, this is kind of, it's weird. It's a little weird, but maybe you're right. Maybe it is a good thing to get some fresh
We'll
blood.
see. Maybe I'll find a new team to root for, or find just someone different.
You can't just change it up.
I can.
Well, all right. Fine.
I chose.
You can't do that.
I chose St. Louis a couple years ago because of their theme song.
You're an Aggie. You're like the most loyal of loyals.
But I don't have an Aggie hockey team.
They continually kick you in the balls, and you keep showing up, putting on maroon.
I'm a Cowboy fan too, brother. I wear a cup every day of the year. I'm a Cowboy, a Spur, and an Aggie fan. I have a steel cup I wake up every morning with. Put on. Talk about getting kicked in the nuts.
All right, plenty more to get into. We've got some NFL stuff to talk today. We'll get more into the NBA. It is the Morning Huddle live from Golf Club of Texas on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. This Tuesday, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Your marriage is over. You know it. Your friends know it. Take back control now with Barton & Associates, an aggressive, no-nonsense team of attorneys ready to fight for what you deserve. Contact us today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to get ready for the summer season with the Quarter Moon AC $58.99 preseason special. It's a real home run. You'll have your AC ready before the summer heat hits. We'll inspect your AC's indoor and outdoor coils, filters, temperature levels, and make sure you're ready for the summer heat, all just for $58.99. So when your AC is warming up, Quarter Moon comes in like a heavy hitter.
Hey, batter, I'm going to give it some heat.
651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee through May 30th. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Whether your Easter plans have you stepping out on Sunday or hosting a group at home, Macy's Easter sale has great deals on everything you'll need to celebrate, like 50% off dressy brunch looks to level up your whole family style, and 50 to 60% off hosting must-haves, like the classic Butterfly Meadow collection from Lenox. But don't miss out, because just like an Easter egg hunt, there's so much to discover, but you gotta move quick. At Macy's Easter sale, Wednesday. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle. It is golf tournament day. The sun rising softly over the golf course, Texas. Golf Club of Texas, the home for our tournament this year. Shotgun start at 9 o'clock. We're waiting for tacos. I think Kielbasa will be out here with some sausage wraps post-haste.
That'll get the job done.
I hope so. I'm hungry.
That'll get the job done. I thought about stopping on the way in and grabbing some food, and I said,
there'll be enough. Did you go through the pro shop?
I did. I just went to the restroom, and then Greg kindly pointed out that there's a restroom right over our shoulder the other way. I didn't realize.
That's for the help.
That's for the riffraff.
That's for the caddies. I don't do the. It's a trough back there. In the pro shop, they have, the coffee thing where you pump.
Yeah.
I can't make it work.
There probably wasn't coffee.
No, there is coffee because I messed with it to the point where I finally just opened up the top and pulled that little thing out and just poured it into my cup. But I went back in. I still can't make it work. I don't understand why it won't work for me.
It's very complex.
It's very
technology.
frustrating.
Very complex tech.
I'm telling you, it's 6:47, and I've only had half a cup of coffee, and I'm getting a little frustrated, and I'm in there alone banging on that damn thing. I don't want to break it because it actually has coffee. So at the next break, if I can't make it work, I'm just bringing that whole damn thing out here.
Fair enough. I would imagine.
I'm going to need you to create a disturbance.
I would imagine if. Yeah. Hey, over here!
Everybody, look over here real fast.
I would imagine you'll figure this thing out,
dude. I have given it several attempts. I can't figure out why it won't work, and I'm frustrated.
Wow,
and I'm uncaffeinated.
I bet someone can help you out.
No, I don't think.
Maybe the guy working in there understands how.
Every time I go in there, he's not there,
and that's also the worst part. Like for you to say, like, "Hey, man, how does this thing work?" And then imagine he just
he's going to go, "Oh, idiot!" But
and you're going to feel extra dumb.
It doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
well, this is some good news, I think, if you're a Cowboy fan, or you could just assume that he's a liar. And I don't know why, but I fall on he's probably lying. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott says that he is feeling good enough that if there was a game right now, if I had to play a game today, I definitely could do that.
Well, he didn't say how well.
Well,
I mean, he said I could play.
I'm old enough to remember how crappy he was playing before he got hurt last year.
It's very that's un-Dak-like. to say something like that. It really is. He's normally, I'll be ready when I'm ready. I'm working hard. Most players are going to, err on the side of I'm not sure. But for him to say that,
Dak saying that, Dak is kind of getting a reputation as brittle.
I think you're being kind, but yes, brittle's a good word.
And I think the noise is starting to get out there about it. So I think maybe he's trying to downplay.
I agree,
because I don't know what's worse, being labeled brittle or being labeled a malingerer.
Well, normally one comes after the other. Normally you're considered brittle first. Like, man, the guy just can't stay healthy. And then after a minute, you're like, well, this guy's just getting paid. Come on, brother. I know you become the malingerer, even though you're probably still hurt. But first, you're just thought of as brittle,
I still can't. I mean, when my mindset about Dak's health changed is when he was wearing that boot to go fishing. And I'm like, dude, that injury happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago. What are we doing?
I know way too much about Cooper Rush's game.
Way too much.
I know way too much. I know I could scout Cooper Rush because of the last 3 years. So, yeah, I've seen way too much of Cooper.
And now I think Dak's probably starting to hear some of that noise. So even if he's like, okay, how long do I have before training camp? As long as I can be ready by training camp, I'm going to tell him I'm going to be ready now.
And you got to be a good soldier, too. I mean, he's going to – if I'm Jerry or somebody that's in the Cowboys administrative orbit, I'm talking to Dak like, man, nothing. Everything you say needs to be upbeat and positive. You're ready to play. You're happy. I mean, which is pretty typical of him, but you need to be front and center leading the charge at every opportunity because things are so loose right now. With Micah and just all the change, you need to be the guy that's the comforting part of this. And for him to say that, I think was
there's not
part of the design.
Not a lot of positivity coming out of Dallas.
So for him to say that, even if I don't believe it, for him to say it, at least he's aiming in the right direction.
He said, "I'm getting close to where I want to be. I don't want to put a percentage on it. I know we've got team activities coming up. Imagine myself being involved in some sort, if not all." Then again, I just understand my age, what I've had, what I've went through. It's about being my best in the fall. So I'm not rushing anything, but I'm where I want to be.
I think they're going to draft his replacement or going to start trying this year.
Oh, they're at least going to draft.
Yeah, they're going to start trying for his replacement. Well, they might not find him this year. Joe Milton's going to be the imminent one. But from here on out, as long as Dak plays football, there's going to be a guy on the roster that is actively training to take his job. He has shifted. That's the part of his career that he's in now.
As we go into year 2 of the biggest contract in NFL history,
and in 2 years when it becomes movable, the hope is the Cowboys, if they're ready to move him, will have a guy in place. And we got a couple of 2 years to get that done. But I think Dak will forever have a guy that is training and getting ready to take his job from now on, wherever he is.
It's so funny because Dak went from. When you're a 4th round pick and you have the kind of success that Dak's had, that's usually like, man, he's like the everyman. This is,
and he was.
And the narrative on that has changed, and that's how money has changed. Like once you take the biggest contract in NFL history, it's like now suddenly you're not an everyman. You're not a feel good story.
Yeah,
now
you're part of the establishment.
Yeah. Now if you're not performing, like the level you're expected to perform at when you're a 4th round pick. That's a lot different level than when you're the highest paid quarterback in the world.
And the thing is, he operated under that kind of, let's give him a break for the first 2 years. The first year was just extraordinary. And with the way that they manufactured an offense around his inadequacies, quite frankly, and Zeke was just a monster. And, he always operated under, man, we're just glad you're here. Thank God you were here. Thank God you were better than a 4th round pick. Thank God when we threw you into the fire and Kellen Moore and the way everybody handled you was great. And thank God we did all that. And it went from that to, oh my God, how much?
And then it's even worse when guys like Josh Allen take less money and say, yeah, what's a couple more million? Right. I want to make sure the team around me's solid. And it's like, he's like, I got a house, I got a car, I'm all right. And then Dak, that's clearly throwing shade at Dak. And it's like,
and it's all true. I mean, and I don't fault Dak for taking the money at 12. I mean, at 11:30, right before the kickoff of the season, you get the biggest offer in the history of the game. I think I'd say yes too.
Of course you do.
I don't blame him, but I blame him.
Yeah. All right, man. 1 hour down, 3 to go. And we're going to be golfing, baby. What time's the shotgun start?
9 o'clock shotgun.
Okay, all right.
But we already have golfers on the practice team.
They are warming up, getting ready to go.
Even better news, the Flight by Yingling is here, and I see a beautiful golf bag that's going to be up for grabs.
What time are we going to start cracking those Yinglings?
I think it's probably legal now.
I mean, it's after
I see him
6:53.
opening. He's opening the cooler.
I don't think there's any beer in there yet.
I think he put out.
That's an extension cord.
Yeah, dang.
I don't think that thing's filled with beer yet.
I don't think so either, unless that extension cord is really cold.
I'll tell you what, when Greg starts drinking, I'm going to drink one. I'll tell you that much right now. All right,
it's time.
Vic, are we out of here? I don't have the screen in front of me. It's 6:54:50. You want me out?
No, well, actually, we had an extra minute, so I can do it now.
Well,
we'll get a bonus minute.
Those are things you got to tell me when I'm on the road, Vic.
Yeah.
Why? I know.
No, it's a surprise.
I know I'm a big time radio professional, but I'm not I'm not a seer. I have to still.
6:55 is
That's right. All right. We'll be back. It is the Morning Huddle live from Golf Club of Texas, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line, touchdown Vegas! What a wild finish!
Your home for the NFL.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Spring is in the air, so are the savings during the Mow Less, Save More sales event at your local Aaron's dealer. We're celebrating the season with $100 off qualifying Icon zero-turn lawnmowers with special financing offers available. The Icon mows quickly, comfortably, and leaves a perfectly cut lawn every time. This spring, clean up with savings of $100 off on Aaron's Icon zero-turn during the Mow Less, Save More sales event. Restrictions apply. See your local dealer for details.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, easycater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Testing.
We're live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
If you owe money to the IRS, they'll come after you until you are flat broke. Don't just roll over and take it.
The IRS has changed. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a huge break, as much as 87%. Haven't filed a return for years? It's time for Guardian Tax. Their happy clients are celebrating.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Is tax debt ruining your life? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Visit GuardianTax.com or call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute definitely starting to fill in and slow down. 90 eastbound, 211 over to 410, about a 15-minute commute. 410 northbound slowing down, South Cross up to 35. On 151 eastbound, west over hills to 410, west side of town. That's slowing down. And heavy conditions along 35 southbound, Olympia Parkway on down to O'Connor. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
We have a Masters champion. Rory McIlroy finally did it. He becomes the fifth player to complete golf's triple crown with the win, the Masters playoff against Justin Rose. San Antonio Spurs season came to an end yesterday. They beat the Raptors 125-118, led by Keldon Johnson's 23 and Steph Castle's 20. They came from 22 behind. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
7:01 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The sun's up, Rob. Made it. There's some cloud cover here, which probably isn't the worst thing, mind you.
What I'm amazed by, and let's just thank goodness for it, the breeze hasn't kicked up.
Yeah.
Because where we are is pretty breezy all the time, just because we're on the top of a hill.
Today is interesting.
It's going to be an easy play day.
Because when I woke up this morning, I double-checked the weather to make sure, because I had a decision to make on my
your attire.
My attire, and I went with shorts because
it's going to get
even
to
though
92.
it said 60, it was like 60 right now. I was like, oh, that's probably it'd be good to wear some long pants and a
92 today.
A little light hoodie or something. Yeah, it said it's going to get up to 92, so we're going to have like a 30-something degree swing. I said, well, come golfing time, midday, I'm going to be comfortable, and everybody else is going to be miserable who wore long pants because I wore short pants. And right now, I'm in the regret phase of that. Like, I would like to be a little more warm than I am currently.
I walked outside, and because I have a bit of a walk from my house to the car, I went back in and got a half sip. I was like, this is a little nippier than I thought it was. That was
wise of you.
Yeah, I'm smart like that.
What are your initial thoughts? He's been around for a year. I say he's been around for a year, but I guess he's been in the public for more than that. And my opinions on him were formed long before a year ago. But Caleb Williams, when I say his name, what comes to mind?
I think pure talent. I think that he genuinely can sling the ball. I think absolute talent, but I think a bit of prima donna's not the best word, but a hothouse flower. I think he's hyper talented, but a lot of things have to go right for him to be successful. I feel like he can't be the guy to lift, but he can certainly be the one to help. You know what I mean? And I think he was drafted to be the guy to carry, and he's just kind of a helper.
The word that comes to mind for me, the most polite word I can use, because I could just call him a bitch or a crybaby, but I think he's a front runner.
Well, I think we're both describing the same idea. I don't think he leads, but I do think he is ridiculously skilled.
I do too. I do too, and I think when things are going well for the team, he's going to be the one there beating his chest. But then when things fall apart, he's going to look around and say, all right, whose fault is this?
Does he deserve this? Does he deserve it? Because does this all go back to crying when you lost to UCLA? Or does it go back to the transfer from OU because you're running from the SEC? I mean, seriously, what gave us the reason to think that he's a front runner? Because the numbers show and the success rate that he had in college. And even last year with the Bears, it wasn't atrocious. It was kind of a product of the surroundings he was in.
First of all, I don't think he was running from the SEC because he wouldn't have played in the SEC anyway. Remember, he was already going to be gone.
I mean, he's fobbling Lincoln Riley.
If you want to say Lincoln Riley ran from it, that's fine. But I think he was just following Lincoln Riley.
Following Lincoln.
Lincoln, remind you, Lincoln had been basically, he was the quarterback whisperer that was getting you.
And it did feel, though, that going to the Big 12 or the Pac-12 at that time was kind of running from power. That even the Big 12, even though it wasn't the SEC, it was still considered a better conference than the Pac-12. It still had higher echelon players, and he left to go play against Washington State and Oregon State, and decided to go that route, playing with his coach to go get big numbers. I'm not mad at him, but it did feel like he stepped down in competition. He didn't go win the Heisman. He did everything that he was supposed to do. But I don't know if my perception of him was earned or not, because when you mentioned Caleb, I think transfer and crying. That's what I think of first.
Now, remember back to one of the biggest shifts in power this season in the NFL came when the Bears lost to the Commanders, and it was like they were 4-2. The Bears were seemingly like, man, there's excitement.
Yeah, it's kind of working.
Our quarterback, this is what we were hoping for, and that's the Hail Mary game where Jaden Daniels hits the Hail Mary, and the fortunes of both those teams changed dramatically on that play because the Commanders flipped that into a playoff run. For the Bears, it started a complete collapse.
Ended with the firing of their coach.
Yes. So. Noah Brown was on the other end of that pass, by the way. And then behind the scenes, things apparently started to crumble at that point. Well, now Caleb Williams has come out and said the way Matt Eberflus handled it annoyed the Bears locker room. Said the loss was the product of not only a strategic gaffe on Eberflus's part, but also a lack of discipline. The final play called for cornerback Tyreek Stevenson to guard Noah Brown, but Stevenson instead began the play by turning his back to taunt the crowd.
Don't you remember this?
Yes.
The video of this occurring, yeah.
And that's what let the Hail Mary happen.
This wasn't Caleb's fault.
No. But this is Caleb talking about.
I know,
and this, to me, this all this does is
he's highlighting somebody else.
Somebody else's failure, and now somebody who's gone.
Right.
Even worse, like you're throwing dirt on a guy who, okay, if you want to say this play it cost us this game and it's Matt Eberflus's fault, fine. What about the rest of the games you lost this year?
I agree. No, I think that he was in a rough situation. And as with every great quarterback, circumstance matters. And his circumstances were probably better than a few that have come out previously as far as the number one overall, but not great. It turned out that Eberflus was not up to the task. He didn't have a lot of help around him. So that combined with the arrogance that he brought in from USC and the arrogance that he just has, combined for a worst-case situation for a guy like him. It did, and he's not on borrowed time, but this certainly feels like a Baker Mayfield scenario to me. It feels like it's just not going to work out. Just because circumstance, number one, you're genuinely talented, but your psyche is not matched for what is going to be required of you over the next couple of years.
All I know is this, in a class that's going to be considered, I think, one of the better quarterback classes, of at least of the last 15, 20 years, he was the number one pick. And right now, like my confidence level in him is probably about fourth or fifth of that group.
Yeah.
And the only reason it's not sixth is because we haven't seen J.J. McCarthy play yet. Like, I would certainly take Drake May's upside over him right now. Jaden Daniels it's a given. I think what we saw out of Bo Nix, I feel better about him right now than I do Caleb. And Michael Penix, I would probably put Caleb ahead of Michael Penix right now.
Just 'cause I don't know about Penix.
But
I'm not this down on him as you are. I still think the talent level is enough if he can just get a couple things together. And if you can feed that arrogance, a lot of times, an arrogant quarterback's a good thing if you're winning. I mean, I think that the epitome of that is Russell. When he was on, he was an arrogant quarterback, but, they're winning. It worked. He's going to, when Caleb, if he's ever successful, he's going to be the most arrogant, big-headed quarterback in the room or in the league. And that's just kind of how he has to be successful, kind of like Kobe had to hate you. I think Caleb has to feel superior to you. And I think if he feels that way, the dude can play. He really can. But, circumstances dictate your success for a quarterback like this. And he's got a new coach again. I still don't see a lot of talent around him. It ain't going to go well. And he doesn't handle adversity very well.
That's what I'm saying. And not just that he doesn't handle adversity well, but just the fact that now you've got to start thinking about who am I pointing the finger at
and who's he going to throw into the bus?
Whose fault is it going to be now?
Or is he going to throw me next?
Because you came in with a coach who was, they were damn near on the brink of firing him before you showed up. So it wasn't like it wasn't a major hill to climb for Matt Eberflus to be fired. But now you got a new coach. It's not like they're going to fire him after a year. So you're going to, well, I say that happens more and more in the NFL now, but you're stuck with this guy. So if things don't go well, who are you going to point at?
Exactly.
Because the Bears are stuck with him, at least for now.
And my memory of him at USC was not that of it's on me. No. I don't remember him going that route. So I completely – he is just another one of those many first number one overall guys that probably should have been the third or fourth, just didn't work out so far. I don't hold out high hopes, but I do think I'm not out on the talent. I do think of all the guys that came out last year, he could spin it the best. He was the workout
warrior. And that's why I get it. And that's why I don't blame the Bears for taking him. I didn't want him because I thought he was I didn't think his mind is built for the NFL. And I value that a lot. I love the guy. Trust me. I love the guys who can chuck the ball to the moon. I like a quarterback who's 6'5", 6'6", and has a magic arm and can run. That's the first thing I'm looking for. But I do think mentality plays a major role.
Yeah.
And I just don't think his mentality is right.
The irony of this, though, AJ, is I think Cam and Shedeur both probably have the mentality, but they don't have the skill set that Caleb has. You know what I mean? If you could combine what Cam brings to the table or Shedeur with what Caleb's capable of doing, then you have the perfect quarterback.
Oh, I agree completely. But that, like I said, the first thing I look for is always like, are you built to play in the NFL? And Caleb passed that test easily. Shedeur and Cam less. But you're right. I do like I prefer their mindsets to Cam's.
It's let's stay with this draft class. I think the perfect example of that kind of quarterback is Bo Nix. I think 80% of his success last year was not physical. He just knows how to be a quarterback. He doesn't have the great arm, but he had a coach that understood him.
And how coachable are you?
And he's proven to be that in a couple of different schools. He has that kind of understanding of, I know how to win football games. I might not be a great quarterback, but I know how to win. And he was drafted in the right place to be that, where Caleb was probably drafted way too high just because his mentality is not such to lead a bunch of men. He just isn't that guy.
Well, I think we've seen it. Like now, the guy that we would consider the greatest quarterback that's ever played football is Tom Brady, who did not have the physical gifts that you would be like, oh my God, I've got to have this guy.
He had less than Nix.
You all think about you can always picture the doughy picture of him at the combine where he was a big fat body, and it's like, this guy, he looked like a backup quarterback.
Exactly. And Nix looked like a backup, a third string quarterback, an athlete, for a different reason. I think the application of skill takes so much, because that's all you really have to work on with the college kids. You can see him playing against Bo Diddley Tech and throwing for 500 yards. But when Caleb, and I think Herbert's another guy who's just one of those workout guys that when you see him throw it, you're like, my God, I can't not draft him. That supersedes everything until you get him around your guys. You realize, I needed a few more things upstairs than just his arm.
Although Herbert See, I hate comparing Herbert to
I'm just
Caleb
talking
Williams.
about guys that I have seen stand and just sling it.
Okay.
And I remember Herbert's pro day where you're like, Mike, did he just throw that 40 yards on a rope? I mean, the things that he was doing in his pro day, and the same with Caleb, I'm sure. He would have to be so extraordinarily bad in the interview to outweigh what I just witnessed on the field. You know what I mean? On the field, he's the best by far coming out last year.
Yeah, I'm so protective of Justin Herbert, the guy I worked with in Vegas. Well, he had this mindset that Justin Herbert was like picked from the beginning to be the next big deal, and just like hasn't done anything with it. And I said, dude, the reality
was nuts.
The reality of Justin Herbert is he broke his leg in high school. And like they said, he was never going to play football again. And he worked his way back. He got one D1 offer, and it was to Oregon, and he made the most of it. And I'm like, to me, it's like, that's a cool story. That's the opposite of the Caleb Williams story. The Caleb Williams story is everybody saw this kid as a sophomore in high school and said, this is the best quarterback I've ever seen. And he's going to be the first pick in the NFL draft. And he's a big crybaby and a front runner.
When you don't do your due diligence and you think I can fix him. Yeah. I can make him want to win. I can make him try hard. I can teach him to be a leader. And all you see is the pro day or his highlight film. Yeah, I see why you take him number one, because he can truly do things that 99.99% of the quarterbacks in the NFL can't do right now. He just doesn't have all the tools to put it all together at the same time.
And the Bears have experience in this, although it's a different kind of the Bears. The best quarterback in Bears history, literally, and I say this not ironically, is Jay Cutler. And
I think you need to say,
is not nearly as good as Jay Cutler was.
I think what you need to say is the most talented,
also
physically gifted quarterback they've ever had. Because their best quarterback was McMahon, and he was a fullback.
He was not good. He was on a great team.
He was a fullback.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean,
he was. What's his name that played with still plays in New Orleans? The third string quarterback. That's a XY.
The kid from BYU.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why his name.
McMahon threw for 1 million miles in college, but he was a fullback. He threw it deep.
But Jay Cutler he had all the physical. He couldn't throw the ball to the moon. But the question was all up in his head, and he had the opposite thing of Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams cares so much what everybody thinks of him. Jay Cutler could care. He couldn't care less what you thought of him. Like, it almost seemed like he didn't even care, that he was on a football team. He's just like, hey, this is me. This is what I do, baby. I don't know what's worse, but it does seem like the Bears are cursed in that way.
Oh, they're absolutely cursed. But that's by design. If you want to have a great quarterback, if you try hard, you'll get one. You just have to decide, I'm going to keep going until I get a quarterback. And they haven't done that. They've always, okay, we're going to make it work, and we're going to hang on to Caleb, and it's not going to work, and they end up with a free agent. They're going to buy another quarterback after this as a bridge, and then they're going to be 10 years as they're looking for the next, and finally they'll draft another one, number one overall in about 10 years. And, I've been following the Bears for my 59 years, for 50 years, and it's been the same thing for 50 years. Same owner, 20 different coaches. They'll make do with this one. We'll draft high later. Some franchises are doomed to that, and others no. The
Browns believe it. The Browns believe they'll find one day. The Bears believe they'll find one.
Eventually, they'll fall into it. But and then there's the teams that
Browns won't.
Will forever be searching. There's the teams that will constantly draft, but because like Jacksonville, they're going to get rid of Trevor here soon enough, and they'll go for another one. It's just not going to work. There's some teams that are just destined to have bad quarterbacks.
All right, it is 7:17 on the morning huddle. The guys are the putting contest is underway.
It is.
Guys trying to win that golf bag from Yingling. They've got a cooler full of Yingling they're trying to give away too. So we're already in the thick of things. Get on out here. It is the Golf Club of Texas. Morning huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic on Monday, April 14th at the Golf Club of Texas is officially sold out. But you can still join us at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Potranco for the ultimate after party. Celebrate with cold drinks, great food, and good times. The sold-out San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Ensira.com and PPL Motorhomes benefits the Pan American Golf Association.
Missions fans, level up your Tuesdays with AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium. Presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Unlock $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Don't miss this high score deal. First pitch is 7:05 p.m. Grab your tickets now at samissions.com.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
What up, fellow Gen Xers? Elizabeth Banks here. As the original latchkey kids, we took things into our own hands, like house keys and video game controllers. And now it's time for us to do it again, because the recommended age to get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. We're at over 6 times greater risk compared to adults under 50. So go to vaxassist.com and schedule. Gen X, this is our shot. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Well, right now is the ideal time to get ready for the summer season with the Quarter Moon AC $58.99 preseason special. It's a real home run. You'll have your AC ready before the summer heat hits. We'll inspect your AC's indoor and outdoor coils, filters, temperature levels, and make sure you're ready for the summer heat, all just for $58.99. So when your AC is warming up, Quarter Moon comes in like a heavy hitter.
Hey, batter, I'm going to give it some heat.
651-5899.
License number TACLA 141-074E M16004.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
Coach Wade Phillips, I know you love it when TV guys question you. Radio guys are okay, but TV guys...
No, I appreciate you guys. You do a hell of a job.
Thank you, Coach.
Don't tell anybody I said that.
I won't. No, we won't. We won't make that a promo at all. I promise.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime. It's showtime. What's this music? I don't know. I like it. What's going on here, Vic?
You're at a golf tournament.
This is golf music?
Yeah.
That's kind of
Vic, you're just assuming that because this is white people music that this is golf music.
This isn't just white people music.
Oh, geez.
Who is this?
This has nothing to do with
Art
golf.
Pepper. Yes, it does.
Is this Artie Pepper?
Yeah, sure is.
All right.
Tell me you don't like this.
I don't like this.
Really?
No. Not for me.
Are there Mexicans there?
No.
Oh, they're helping set up.
Oh, well then. All right. There they are.
Hey!
¡Órale, la raza! Get it all set up,
on
way.
the 13th hole.
They're going to go
Grab your
get some.
clippers.
Yeah. They got to go to the Quick Trip to get more ice.
Oh, yeah.
No, we need some ice, and I'll be back.
We're going to be having fun out here all day. Rob and I are. I don't know about Greg. Greg's probably. Are you going to the other place? Yeah, Greg's going to the other place. He's not going to stay here and drink beer with us.
Oh,
sucks for him.
So the post party.
Yes, there's a live broadcast of the Blitz at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Petranco. So go out there and see them after you're done hanging out with us, or after you're done playing golf. We should, or if you're not going to make it to the golf course, maybe you say, "Man, I was listening this morning. I wish I could have played golf, but couldn't. I still want to hang out with the guys. Want to hang out with Joe and Jason.
I'll bet
they're really cool.
That they show up with our brand new Fiesta medals.
Oh,
that have made their debut today.
I should have asked Jasmine to be my chili queen. Make me a thing.
Yeah,
I think you should go ask Jasmine.
I'll ask her next time I see her.
Will you be my chili queen?
Do you think she'll say yes?
I hope so.
I would think so.
I don't think she's been asked that in.
I don't know what does it entail exactly?
Being a chili queen involves a lot.
Not just making a sash?
You have far more than just the sash.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well,
oh. You have to earn it. Yeah, this is pretty dang nice. I'm pretty proud of this.
Wow.
We strive for excellence in everything we do. The Lone Star Challenge Coins.com.
I think next year, we should make a morning huddle.
Well, we need to.
With just us.
Yeah.
As it'll have our faces on it, but as we'll be like Sugar Skull people.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And Kitty Big Balls.
This.
Oh, yeah, maybe Kitty Big Balls will probably be dead by then.
By the way, in memory of.
Was CBB running around this morning?
He is alive today.
You saw him? All right.
Yeah.
Good
so you
stuff.
fed him?
Yeah, they're there.
Adequately.
He's probably standing in my parking spot wondering where the hell I am.
He actually was. He was in your parking spot. Yeah.
It's like,
right in front.
Is this guy ever going to show up?
He's probably waiting since Saturday. Yeah, there was his black
his
friend.
ladies.
Yeah,
oh, his lady.
Yeah,
his friends were there. Okay, well, good.
He takes care of them.
That's right. I think those cats kick his ass. Is what happens.
Well,
he's like,
somebody does.
Like, we hang out until I decide to kick this guy's ass again. Bunch of puncture wounds in his chest. Terrible at fighting. All right, as we roll on through on a Monday, we talking about the NBA playoffs and the winners and losers that came out of the weekend. The things that were determined on Sunday, everything got determined. I mean, all the Nuggets became the 4 seed by beating the Rockets. The Clippers became the 5 seed by beating the Warriors.
And that one was in great question. That
was in peril. The Timberwolves clinched the 6th seed by beating the Utah Jazz, which imagine if you would have been forced to the play-in round because you lost to the Jazz. Oh, my God. And then the Kings clinched the 9 seed by beating the Suns.
That's another one. If you'd have lost to the Suns, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
All for naught.
But I think we've got to look at the Clippers now. It's hard for me to think about anyone in the West as a title contender that's not named the Thunder.
But the Clippers aren't a title contender.
I've come around to, if I were saying who besides the Thunder, let's say Shea breaks his leg, and when Chet goes to help him get off the court, his Chet's head falls off. So now you've got.
So you think the Clippers, as far as
I think they'd be my second favorite,
and veteran savvy are the second favorite.
I think they're the second most dangerous team.
I think they are right now, but for them to be that, we're asking old legs to play every other night for the next month.
Yeah.
That's a big ask for a guy that I won't even name. You know what I mean? I get it. I'm with you. In the NBA right now, especially in the play-in where you don't, 1 or 2 games, veteran savvy is 90% of this. If you've been there and done that and know how to play the game, like the Clippers, I mean, that's as old a team as there is. I give them a lot of weight now, but the marathon is truly beginning. And I know that Voldemort will wear down. Right now, he's one of the top 5 players in the world. He is carrying this team. He and Harden are both playing fantastic basketball.
Kawhi and James Harden in yesterday's game, overtime win over the Warriors when they needed it the most, those two guys combined for 72 points, 17 assists, 13 rebounds, 26 of 42 shooting. That's 62%, including 9 of 16 from 3. If those two guys do that, they're beating everybody.
I agree. If they do that, they are going to beat everybody but Oklahoma City. But they aren't going to. I've been around Kawhi long enough to know that physically he can't do it. He'll lie to us. He'll pretend about it. He might even be on the court. But I know physically he can't do it. Now Harden can if he turns it on, but it won't be Kawhi that lifts him night after night.
I don't know, man. He's been healthy this year.
Well, as healthy as he's been, but he's also gotten plenty of breaks and plenty of nights off. I know I've seen enough of Kawhi that I expect nothing from him when it matters.
Okay. And obviously, I mean, listen, they might lose in the first round. They're playing the Nuggets. They're playing the best player in the world.
They should lose in the first round. They're not as talented as Denver, but Denver's got their own excuse already built in.
I think the Lakers, things probably fell about as well as it could have for them. I was reading about how the Lakers are all, I mean, everybody's talking to Luka about what do we do to stop the Timberwolves. And whatever you think of the Lakers defensively, remember what the Mavericks were defensively last year. And remember that Luka stepped up big for a guy who, I mean, the biggest knock on him historically had been he sucks at defense. He gave effort and made something happen when nobody thought he could against the best player in the world, or the guy who at the time looked like the best player in the world, Anthony Edwards.
What does your gut say? What do you feel? Because I kind of like the Lakers.
I think I do too. I feel like the Lakers are going to implode at some point. I don't think it's going to be against. I don't think it's going to be against Minnesota. Minnesota's been not nearly as good as they were a year ago. I think Anthony Edwards is tired. I think playing in the Olympics was a mistake.
You might be right.
I think it wore him down playing all that ball over the summer, and not only playing all that ball, but also being like hyped over the summer as like the savior of the NBA. And like, it's not that he's not good. It's just that, man, that's a lot to put on a young guy.
And he got 40 last week. He had a nice game, but I agree with you. I think it's been a long year, and I don't think the team is as cohesive as it was. They're talented enough to where they should win this. They should be able to beat the Lakers. But I think Luka alone is enough. I think what I saw from them last year, and, you still got LeBron on the team. You still got a GOAT running around out there. Yep. I like the Lakers in this, though. I probably shouldn't.
And I still think about Luka hitting that shot on Gobert and yelling at him, "You can't effing guard me." Like the best, one of, if not the best defensive players in the world. Right. And Luka's yelling at him, "You can't effing guard me" in the playoffs. That's so big balls. Like, I love it. And to me, that swagger is going to be enough to carry them.
And it'll be a chance for Luka to become a Laker. Right now, he's still a former Mav. You know what I mean? So. He's still a former Mav, but this is the team that he is uniquely equipped to just destroy. And if he does that, I think he turns the page for himself, the team. He becomes a true Laker, not a former Mav, a victim of the worst trade in history.
Now it also, this is an opportunity for Anthony Edwards to really like, I beat Luka, I beat LeBron. You're going to tell me I'm not ready?
We were talking before the show about the East, and I brought up the Pacers. I liked the Pacers early. I thought they were going to be far better this year than they were. I think Halliburton is suffering from the same thing that Anthony Edwards did, but with a little bit more. So I think he's just tired. I think that the Pacers didn't live up to expectations, but they win their opening series. All things are forgotten, and I get the sense that applies here in the West as well. You win this opening one for them, all things are forgotten. No matter how things went, you won that opening series, and you were exactly where we thought you would be. Now, you kind of need to win your next. But if Minneapolis and the Timberwolves can right the ship and beat the Lakers, I think you forget about how poor this season really was for them, because they were expected to be in the thick of it all year long, and they weren't.
And Anthony Edwards, one of the last guys I want to doubt in the NBA. Did you see what happened yesterday? Malik Beasley, who going into yesterday, Edwards had made Edwards and Beasley were 1, 2, and 3-pointers made on the season. Edwards had a one 3-pointer lead over Malik Beasley. Beasley went out and hit 7 against Detroit, against the Bucks. And then Beasley got on social media and said, "Ant, you got to get 7 threes to beat me tonight." So what do you think Anthony Edwards did?
I'm sure he took at least 7.
He went out and hit 7 threes against the Jazz on the dot and had the most 3-pointers made in the NBA this year. Like, it's just, in my mind, that's just what Anthony Edwards does. It's like, you tell me I can't do this? Okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Well, having not been a part of a playoff run in so long, I forget what it's like. There is the mentality that players just kind of do. Playoff basketball is just different. And the longer you've been in the league, the more you know the difference between the last month of the regular season and the first week of the playoffs. It's just night and day. It's just a brand new game. It's not like the NFL or Major League Baseball that builds to it and the playoffs are equally as competitive or at least as competitive as hoped. No, it starts now. And you can write your season, and players know that. Just be healthy and ready for the playoffs. And I think Anthony Edwards is not quite that mature yet, but I do think he's learning that playoffs are different, and if you ramp it up, you can write a season by just winning a couple of playoff series.
Look who's here. Joe Reinagle is here. Joe Reinagle of the Blitz fame, a very, very popular figure out here.
He's celebrating Rory. I'm surprised he's not wearing green.
He's very excited. There's a lot of women asking about Joe. As soon they'll all be at the Cart Girls. Cart Girls love Joe Reinagle.
He's a good tipper.
No surprise. All right, let's hit a break. We'll be back live from the Golf Club of Texas. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. A couple of stalls as you head into your morning commute. 35 southbound at Thousand Oaks, right lane blocked, and 410 northbound Valley High. That stall has you a bit slow from Ray Ellison. Slowing down along 410 northbound South Cross to 35 and 90 eastbound 211 on over to Loop 410. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Your marriage is over. You know it. Your friends know it. Take back control now with Barton & Associates, an aggressive, no-nonsense team of attorneys ready to fight for what you deserve. Contact us today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Take advantage of pre-tariff pricing during Truck Month at North Park Chevrolet. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on new Silverado 1500s. A new Colorado Crew Cab posted at $29,999. $5,000 off MSRP on a new Equinox. 4.8% financing for 84 months on new Tahoes and Suburbans. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
If you owe money to the IRS, they'll come after you until you are flat broke. Don't just roll over and take it. The IRS has changed. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a huge break, as much as 87%. Haven't filed a return for years? It's time for Guardian Tax. Their happy clients are celebrating.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Is tax debt ruining your life? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Visit GuardianTax.com or call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717.
The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're looking live, folks. Morning Huddle 94.1. Live from the Golf Club of Texas. Starting to look nice out here, baby. It's going to be a good day for golf.
Yes, indeed.
Sun isn't going to be beating our ass all day. Little cloud cover. It's going to be warm, though. That's a win-win day.
It's not breezy. You don't have to be a superstar to keep it in the fairway. Beautiful course. It's green. The greens are in great shape. The courses, they
just redid all the greens.
Yeah, they did over the last year. Well, I don't know if they redid the greens. I know they're redoing the cart paths. They've been working on that for the last couple of years. Fabulous course. If you haven't been out here, it's wide open. Just enough water to keep you honest.
It's hard to lose a golf ball.
Oh, I've lost thousands, but that's just me. But no, if you haven't been out here, it's a great day to come out and just hang with us. If you haven't signed up, we're going to be busy all day long. 2:00 we'll be out at the hangar for the close down party. If you don't make it out here early. But the putting contest is in play. Everybody's qualifying for a beautiful Flight by Yingling golf bag. We have one qualifier already. You get, 3 balls for $5. You got a long putt. And we've had one make it, and I think at the end of the day there'll be a putt off for the Wilson. Let me see.
That is very fancy.
It is nice. It's lighter than air.
Yeah, I like it. All right.
By Yingling bag.
We'll have Joe Reinagel out here in a little bit, I think. He's going to talk some golf with us. But while he's not here, we'll talk some football. Cleveland Browns bringing back Joe Flacco.
Good for Joe.
1-year deal, $4 million.
Now we all know he's going to be
starting. $13 million in incentives.
We know he's going to be starting the last 8 games of this year. Can we just pencil him in?
I believe he might be starting game 1.
You might be, but I have a feeling that he'll be by the end of this year. Joe Flacco will be QB1 one way or another.
Like, do you feel? I mean, Joe Flacco, I'm sure didn't go into this thing thinking, well, I'm not going to win this job over Kenny Pickett.
Well, no, I think he went in feeling pretty comfortable that this will be his job. I'm not sure I want the job. Let Pickett go out and start this season. Let him take all the beats and the beat downs, and let me be the savior to show up later. Because no matter who starts this season, I don't see finishing. For whatever
that's probably
reason.
True. I mean, Joe Flacco's not a young.
Take
young
your time with the playbook.
But the idea that, and I don't know, Joe Flacco, I think Joe Flacco will always be. I'll always remember Joe. I mean, Joe Flacco's won a Super Bowl, so obviously he's like his legacy is great to begin with. But the year that it was at 23.
You talking about the Jets season?
No, I'm talking about when he came to Cleveland and like drug the carcass of the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs, and everybody was like, "Wait, that Joe Flacco?" Yeah. And they go to the playoffs with freaking Joe Flacco.
And I feel like most players in the league go, oh, okay, Flacco, I know he won't be the reason we lose. He won't be the reason we win, but I know he ain't going to ruin it for me. So if I go do my job, we got a shot.
And then last year, not ideal. I mean, like he wasn't thrown into a great situation in Indianapolis. Their offense is built around a mobile quarterback. Joe Flacco is not a mobile quarterback, but he played respectably after that, after he took over that job last year. So I don't know. I think Joe Flacco is better than Kenny Pickett. I see no reason why he shouldn't be the man.
You'd have to prove that Pickett's better. I don't know. The great thing about Joe Flacco, like I keep saying, is if he's on my team, I know he can start. I don't expect a lot, but I know he's not going to do anything dumb. And I feel like Pickett's probably got 2 turnovers a game in him, and I don't think Flacco's that way. Now, the offensive line and their makeup will play a big role in whether Flacco gets in early and all that kind of stuff. The fact that Joe Flacco is still a viable candidate in the modern NFL tells you a lot about where we are.
Well, yeah.
I mean, this guy should be doing the C game on Fox on Sundays.
So hard to find a viable NFL quarterback. I mean, just look around the league. There's a lot of teams that don't have one.
Just absolute bereft.
And they're like, well, I mean, is Joe Flacco one of the 32 best guys in the league? And the fact that the answer is yes tells you a lot about just the way the NFL looks right now.
And how desperate you get just to don't ruin it for us. Just don't ruin it. Don't be the guy that causes the problem that's the mistake either in the locker room or on the field. And to look at Joe Flacco in the signing, and if I'm a Brown fan, wake up and be happy about it. Like, all right, that's an upgrade. Tells you where they are too.
Now the hope was that I think the hope was, at least for Kirk Cousins, that the Browns would maybe make a deal to bring him in, and this pretty much tells you that's not going to happen.
No, Atlanta knows something. They either know something that he's either better than we think, or Penix isn't even close. One or the other, but they're not going to let either one of those guys sniff anything else.
And if you remember, Kevin Stefanski and Kirk Cousins worked together in Minnesota. Now Kirk Cousins is saying, I want to go out and I want to be a starter, which I understand. I think Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Although if I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm thinking I'm making starter money.
Let's say, do you want to void your deal and go be a starter? Okay.
Yeah. Now there is a possibility of Minnesota being in the mix again for a quarterback, depending on how J.J. McCarthy comes back. If he's ready to go, because we've talked about Minnesota as a team that if JJ McCarthy is competent, then they're a playoff caliber team.
They've already pushed their chips in. They're already telling us they think McCarthy is it. They've told us a year ago before he got hurt. They told us McCarthy's the dude, and they haven't wavered once. I mean, if he isn't it, their staff, their GM is blind. But for 2 years, they going into last season before he got hurt, they told us this guy's our starter.
Yeah,
he got hurt. He's gone through rehab. This guy's our starter. We're going to get rid of this guy. We're going to get rid of that guy. This guy's our starter. We're going to pay our wide receivers. This guy. If they're wrong, they are so terribly wrong that they wasted 2 years.
What kind of? Well, I mean, they at least they made it to the playoffs last year with Sam Darnold.
Well, I mean, in the time frame for JJ, I mean, they are dead sure that he is their guy and haven't wavered once.
What kind of disastrous summer would he have to have for the Vikings to go, you know what? We can't waste this thing we've got going here.
Hey, Jay, that's the golden question, because you got to keep in mind that would have to be a general manager and a coach admitting they were wrong right before the deadline. You had a year of rehab. You had a full year before that, and you're just now telling me he ain't it? Dude, I don't think a GM could look himself in the mirror and admit that. I think even if they felt like it was the case, they'd lie to us and to themselves and go into the season and say it's JJ, and JJ, and it'll let him prove it on the field.
But how often do playoff caliber teams start the season with a rookie quarterback?
It just about never.
Right.
But can he quantify as a rookie now?
Yes, of course. His whole first season, he didn't play because he was hurt.
But, if you think about the old method, was you really didn't play. You were behind a starter, maybe got some scrub minutes, and you got at least a year, the Patrick Mahomes model.
But he wasn't able to practice. I mean, he was laid up with a leg.
From the get-go, Minnesota has told us it is J.J. McCarthy. There is no question. Sam Darnold, no, go. We're not going to pay you. Go. We know who our guy is. They haven't wavered once.
Well, and seemingly, the Vikings, if they wanted, could have had Aaron Rodgers. Seems like that was Aaron Rodgers' preferred destination. They said no, thank you.
They are dialed in, and I hope they're right, but they are going to live and die by the McCarthy decision.
Well,
respect.
I guess so. Yeah. If you live by it, if McCarthy's as advertised, and maybe it works out. But
what did you think of him coming out?
I think that he was. My questions about him were because remember, coming out of high school, he was like the dude.
Yeah.
And it always felt like even though under Harbaugh, Michigan ran a pro-style offense,
but it was not.
It was not. The load was never on him.
Right.
And I don't know what it's going to look like when he's got to be the dude. But I also know last year, under the Minnesota offense, you don't necessarily have to have the quarterback be the dude.
I kind of feel like that. I think he's in it. Again, they believe it. I have no reason to doubt them. Their coach and their OC got Darnold to the massive paycheck to where there was even a question. So they're all in. And I don't think even if there was any hint of a doubt, they're never going to let it out. He's their dude, and they're not going to bring in anybody to even upset the apple cart. They're not going to keep Darnold around. They're not going to bring in Aaron Rodgers. They're just going to have an adequate backup and just hope for the best with this rookie dude that hopefully that year of seasoning will kind of catapult him to catch up with a Minnesota team that has high playoff aspirations, not play in rookie wild card stuff. They think they can win a couple of games.
Spent a lot of last season as the best team in the NFC.
So more power to you. I'm a big fan. I think that they've got everything in place. It's just I was not the big McCarthy fan. I felt like a lot of it was Harbaugh. He was limited by a boring kind of Harbaugh idea, but it seemed to
Harbaugh was more intent on winning college football games than preparing J.J. McCarthy for the NFL.
And you just defined my problem. It just seemed to me I didn't see enough of him to warranty this absolute trust. But you know it when you know it, and you see it. If they saw it on the practice field, and they certainly got the good word from Harbaugh and the way he led that team. There's enough there, but that's a big ask for any guy, and they have, at the very least, proven to him by their actions and by their words, dude, you're our man.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it plays out, because if he's not that dude, boy,
that's a big bite apple.
That is but I also, talking about coaching, I trust O'Connell. Like, I think he's just so good as a coach. I think that if McCarthy's not a total loser, that he's going to get something out of him. Because I
completely agree.
Because I don't think Sam Darnold suddenly became a great quarterback, like randomly. I think that Sam Darnold was put into a place where everything was set up for him to succeed.
Yes.
And he had not had that before.
And the bed is still made. I mean, McCarthy's landing in a place that Darnold did with the same,
Yes.
Darnold had to rectify and fix things. Well, McCarthy's walking into a situation that he's been a part of. I mean, he's not new there. Was part of every play call last year, one way or another, whether it be in practice or rehab work or whatever. He knew what was happening before things happened. So I have no reason to doubt them. I'm more comfortable with him in his second year than just about any quarterback I've ever seen, and that's for a quarterback that I, quite frankly, haven't seen.
And remember, Kevin O'Connell said, this is the guy I want.
From the get-go. So if they're wrong, their jobs will be paying for it.
Yep. All right. Man, 2 hours down, 1 hour from tea time, 2 hours from us going around drinking beer for the rest of the day, Rob.
I'm almost there.
It's going to be a good-ass day for Rob and AJ, I can tell you that. We'll talk to Joe Reinagel on the other side of this break. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
It's time for the herd you love. It's time for professional spring football. The San Antonio Brahmas are back, bringing you more of the action, the celebration, and the unforgettable moments you love. Join us for our home opener Sunday, April 27th at 2 when the Brahmas bring the Fiesta to the gridiron with our Viva Fiesta, Viva Brahmas themed game. Bring the energy to the Alamo Dome as your San Antonio Brahmas take on the Houston Roughnecks. Tickets on sale now at UFLbrahmas.com. That's UFLbrahmas.com. Our town, our team, our herd.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Oh, wow, honey, I love it. It's so beautiful and so sparkly.
Just like you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
I'll wear it every day. It goes with everything.
This Mother's Day, wow Mom with spirit-lifting, outfit-making, express your love jewelry. Shop jtv.com/mom for wow-worthy and budget-friendly styles.
I'm never taking it off.
Another wow factor? Sign up for JTV Text and get $30 off. If she loves jewelry, she'll love JTV.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or my website, alawyerforus.com.
My name is John. I could not lose the weight I needed to. The Institute for Functional Health Wellness Program was the answer. It included a great deal of testing, supplements, and weekly face-to-face doctor visits. I finally had the accountability I needed. I am now 50 pounds lighter. I no longer have pain in my elbow, back, and hips. I have more energy and just feel and look so much better.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We'll start with some good news. Just cleared that accident in Schertz at 35 southbound Schertz Parkway. With the combination of rush hour, you still might notice a little bit of a delay along that 35 corridor. Now, 35 southbound Thousand Oaks, that stall still there. Right lane, 15-minute delay has you slow from Evans. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
We have a Masters champion. Rory McIlroy finally did it. He becomes the 5th player to complete golf's triple crown in the win, the Masters playoff against Justin Rose. San Antonio Spurs season came to an end yesterday. They beat the Raptors 125-118, led by Keldon Johnson's 23 and Steph Castle's 20. They came from 22 behind. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
8:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob getting you through on a Monday. No reason to have a case of the Mondays today, though, because we're out at the Golf Club of Texas, baby. I'm going to be out there swinging it, Rob. Oh, all the chicks are going to be like, wow, did you see how long that drive was? Oh, what? Oh. Now, meanwhile, I saw Joe over here kept leaving it short, which... You know, that's what all the gals say about Joe. He leaves it short.
They do say that, yes.
How'd the putting go?
Well, it was fine, but I left it short.
Joe was using that that putter, the thing that you put up against your chest.
One of those pendulum putters. That's weird. It's weird.
I'll never try it. It shouldn't be legal.
It shouldn't be. It was very awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, having that thing sticking in your gut.
Now, I saw you on our group chat, Joe.
Yeah.
And Joe Reinagle joins us, by the way. A lot of you who listen to our show may not know that Joe Reinagle works here. He does the afternoon show It's called the Blitz. It's on
It is,
2
yes.
to 6.
Uh-huh.
And they'll be at the Hangar Bar on Petranco today from 2 to 6, doing the after party for the golf. Go by and see Joe. He'll buy you a beer.
Sure. Yeah. I know people.
But, Joe, yesterday on the group chat, you were so excited about Rory McIlroy in the win. And you said you put an expletive, and then you said –
Were you triggered? Were you okay?
I just didn't understand why you're so angry at the Live.
I hate those guys.
Why?
Because they're traitors. They're babies. They just, it's all about competition. Even you can be the best at what you are, but all these guys went for the money. And they play in shorts. They play 54 holes, shotgun. So it's like playing out here today. It's no longer pros.
Yeah, you're wearing shorts, Joe.
Well, I'm not a pro.
Well, if you're getting paid to do it, you become a pro.
Uh-huh.
And if you're playing against Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, you're playing against those guys, the competition level is not significantly lower.
Did you see any of those guys compete? No, you didn't. Patrick Reed, who is the biggest D-bag of them all, was the highest one up there. Do you think that will eventually be the death knell, that they can't compete in the majors? And, the money's worth it, but at some point there has to be the achievement of it, at least chasing one of the majors. I think you're seeing it now. John Rahm's come out and said he kind of regrets going over there. Brooks Koepka is another one that kind of regrets it.
He didn't even make a cut.
They got money. They got paid. Don't get me wrong, but no, the competition's not the same. It's not even close to the same. PGA Tour still got all the best competition. I'd love to have those guys back. It would make it better, but hey, they can stay over there if they want to. They sold out to the Saudis.
It's very wild that you're so angry about that.
I don't like them at all.
Yeah, Rob was like, well, he doesn't like – you don't like that they're paid even if they win or lose? You don't like that?
No.
But that's what happens.
That's the whole thing about golf is it is one of the greatest things about pro sports. You actually have to win to get paid.
The NBA guys, they lose. The guys on the Jazz get paid whatever they're going to –
exactly. It sucks, but that's the way that is. And since it was always that way, I kind of – they grandfathered in. This is different.
Well, maybe it's not going to be. From what I understand, the PGA, as the PGA kind of is in discussions with these guys to make it all kind of get back to normal,
right?
There may be a set pay for these guys anyway.
Well, I hope
would that
not.
bother you, or what?
No, it would bother me because that's the beauty of golf is the fact you've got to do well to get paid. And it's always been that way. And I think these live guys are learning that the competition on the live tour is not as good as it is on the PGA Tour, and you're not the best. And none of those guys, DeChambeau was good, but he collapsed yesterday. He simply collapsed. And so, it's just it's not the same. And they
was
can't
playing the extra 18 holes. He wasn't used to
exactly right. He was tired. He was tired. It got hot out there. He had to wear long pants.
The idea of only getting to compete 4 times a year,
right?
I do think at the end of the day will be the death nail to the live. Now, I don't know when that'll happen. I thought it was more imminent than it is because there's so much money behind it. They're not going to go bankrupt.
No,
it just doesn't matter. As long as they're comfortable spending the money, it will survive. I don't think they're going to ever pull the name golfers that they have now ever again. I think it'll be a slow attrit and it'll become kind of a, what was that thing that Tiger was doing on Monday nights? That TRL thing?
TGL?
Whatever that kind of thing. I think that's where the live ends up.
Could be. Could very well be. I just it's just not the same. And I'll be honest with you. I've tried to watch it. It's a gimmick. And that's all it is. It's team golf. It's not individual competition. And it's not there. Some guys don't care. Like Dustin Johnson was one of the best golfers in the world. Goes to the live tour. You never hear from him again. And most of those guys you don't hear from. Nobody watches that stuff.
Just pile up of money, and they
got a lot of money. And they don't care.
Yeah,
and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But a lot of those guys want to compete.
What's the tipping point? What happens if Scottie Scheffler is the unquestioned best golfer in the world? Right?
I would say that. Yes.
What happens if tomorrow Scottie Scheffler says they offered me $1 billion, I had to take it, so I'm now a billionaire, but I play in the live now?
We'll carry on.
Is the PGA still where the best competition is?
PGA carries on.
And nobody would ever hear from Scottie Scheffler again. He'd be rich. That'd be great if that's what you want.
What happens if all at once Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and Jordan Spieth all go to live.
They tried it. It won't happen.
They've tried. They've offered Rory McIlroy a ton of money, and he didn't go. They've offered a lot of these guys, all of them, a ton of money.
It just feels like at some point, if enough talent leaves, then the other league becomes viable.
And I think that what's the Saudi and what's it called, the something fund. Yeah. I think that is their intent, that they've got enough money that they can wait this thing out. There's no rush, and if it takes 5 years, we'll wait it out. I just don't. I think that there's enough, at least in the United States, that golf, if you're going to be a pro golfer, you're raised thinking about you eat what you kill.
Yeah.
And that's part of the allure. And I don't think that's going to change, at least in the United States. Now, a European model might be different, and that the great European types might go to the live, but I don't think in the United States it's ever going to be, I'm playing in college so that I can sign the big deal with the live.
Well, prize fighting it's always been that model as well. It's typically when you sign up for a fight, it's like, let's say you're making $50,000 to fight, you make $50,000 more if you win. So there's like this drive to I'm doubling my paycheck.
You got to get better.
But then at some point you reach a level where Floyd Mayweather wasn't fighting for $25 million guaranteed, $25 million more if he wins. Floyd Mayweather had a number that I'm fighting for, and this is my money, win or lose.
Right.
And nobody seemed to be upset at that. Nobody seemed to say, well, now what's the point? Because
that's the beauty of golf. And that's what I'm saying. That's the beauty of it. You have to win. Now, look, these guys are getting rich off Nike and Jordan Spieth's got the Under Armour and all that, and they're getting rich off of that. But to win a golf tournament, you saw the emotion on Rory McIlroy. You're not going to see that with some guy winning the Live Tour tournament.
Because Rory's got bills to pay. He needed that money.
Yeah, I'm sure he needed it. but the emotion of winning the Masters, I mean, that's the Super Bowl of golf. You win that thing, and the fact that he had never won it before and won all the others, and he finally broke through, and the emotion that he showed just tells you that the competition still is important to those guys. It's not just about the money. Of course they want to get paid. Everybody wants to get paid, but they still want to win.
Well, I think
that's the difference.
I think for guys like Rory who have rode the hard line and said, I'm not going to take the money from Live to win the Masters and beat those guys, I think is where a lot of that emotion comes from, because all those dudes are there and they're like, dude, why are you doing this? We're rich over here. You're over here playing this stick and ball game. We got money.
Oh, Rory's got a lot of money.
But not like the level of these Live.
I don't know. I mean, he's pretty well off. He's done very well.
So we were talking, how much did golf need Rory to win this? I mean,
they needed it. I think because, it was good.
The upper echelon's boring.
It's good to have a non-Scheffler win.
Well, I mean, it's good to have, but I mean, Rory has never been boring. He hasn't been great, but he's never been boring. Scheffler's boring.
He's boring
even though he's
hell.
arrested, he even makes dad jokes about that.
He's a thug.
I do think that golf right now, this was the ideal time for Rory to step in and kind of complete the Grand Slam. As we know, I mean, Tiger's done. It's over.
It's over.
It's
Tiger,
over.
Yeah.
We need to find a new dude, and not like Rory's a new dude, but at least there's an old guard dude is standing on top today, and I think golf and as a whole needed that.
Yeah, and he's been the biggest defender of the PGA Tour, right? He's been kind of the mouthpiece of that. But you look at even a guy like Justin Rose yesterday, older guy, he's been on the PGA Tour for a long time. He steps up. There's something about the Masters that's just different than anything else. And these guys take a lot of pride in it. Are you kidding me? If one of those guys, DeChambeau or Patrick Reed or any of those Live guys would have won that, it's just it wouldn't have been. So it was good that Rory won it.
Is it like, obviously Rory winning, like you say, is good, but would Scheffler winning have been good also? Because even though for like guys like me, I'm kind of tired of Scottie Scheffler winning all the time. But there is something to, if there is a guy who is like so great, like Tiger was at one point, where it was like Tiger versus the field,
right?
That maybe that draws more attention to the game.
I don't think so.
See, I don't know what it was about Tiger though, because we didn't care.
But Tiger had that. We're looking
star.
for the next Tiger. We're not looking for the next best golfer in the world. I mean, there's no question Scheffler is head and shoulders right even today after Rory won yesterday, best golfer in the world. We all know that, but it's kind of. It got to the point where I've got a little bit of fatigue of Scheffler, and not because it's overexposed, just the fact that for the last 2 years, year and a half at least.
Well, can we? I mean,
every other week it was him.
Well, that's what it was with Tiger.
But that was different because Tiger was different.
Tiger was also Tiger's never been a good personality.
Oh, he was what are you talking about?
Oh, Tiger's bland and boring.
What?
Like to hear him talk.
Tiger's banging waitresses in the back of the Friendlies. You want to talk about fun?
That was after
Tiger. No, but see, what Tiger was all of it. He was polarizing. He was young. He was black. He was Kaplan Asian. He was hitting the ball 400 yards.
Yeah.
So they're having to redesign golf courses.
Scheffler is too white to be excited.
No, Scheffler is boring.
He is boring.
He's boring.
He's
really good at what he does.
The beauty of golf, though, right now, is that there's not a Tiger. Scheffler's last year kind of dominated, but you go out to any PGA golf event now, there's 20 guys that have a chance to win.
I think
for me,
a Death Star, though.
Yeah, for me, I like that.
I know we all like that. There's 8 guys with a chance, but there needs to be that guy. I either need to beat him or I love him. There needs to be that guy that everybody looks at every week. And Scheffler's just this machine. I mean, you know what I mean? He's going to show up and the cyborg's going to shoot 68. Well, okay, but no personality, no fist pump, no nothing. So he doesn't have the gallery other than I just want to witness precision. But a gallery, I'm going to go follow Justin. I'm going to go follow Rory just because it's more fun.
Sure.
And I think golf needs the fun winner.
Oh, I totally agree. And a guy, like a Jordan Spieth, for example.
Who's the next behind Rory.
Well, he already had his time, basically, right? 2017, he dominated. He was like a Scottie Scheffler at that time. But that guy's more like a us.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that, and obviously we're not as good as he is, but he's the scramblingest.
Speak for yourself.
Dude. He's the scramblingest dude I've ever seen. I mean, he hits it in the woods and somehow still makes a birdie. And it's incredible to watch. But just the emotion that was showed yesterday, that's what got me. And that's why I sent the expletive-filled, text to all of you guys or whatever you call that thing. But it was good. And you see that the dude was crying on the 18th green because it meant so much to him. And
what did you think of the round he played, though?
Oh, it sucked.
It was awful.
He tried very hard to blow it. He tried to blow it.
If Justin Rose, remember, had the day one lead. He was up by like 3 or 4 strokes.
Well, he led after 2 rounds.
And then he stunk on Saturday bad that it
But yesterday, shoots 66.
Yeah.
I mean, dude in his 40s, and I don't know. He showed a lot of emotion, too. That golf tournament, is there's something about it that those guys just want to win it so bad. And Rory had never won it. He'd come close. He's won all the other majors, and that one had just eluded him. And the fact that he finally got it done was
I want an American to win. I don't like it when these.
Well, I'm kind of with you there, but
win.
I was happy Rory won.
It's supposed to be our tournament.
and obviously we're not done, but in your memory, where does Rory stand now in the pantheon of the greats? Obviously, he joined those,
no
with
doubt,
the Grand Slam, but in those, and even in the modern era with because Scheffler and all those, where does he place for you?
He's up there because he's the most underrated guy. You just don't think about Rory McIlroy, right? So yeah, he's underrated as hell, but he is up there as one of the best golfers to ever play the game. There's no doubt, and he's not done. Right. I mean, he's got a lot more to give.
All right. Joe Reinagle, you can hear him on the Blitz today, 2 to 6. They're going to be at the Hangar Bar and Grill on Petranco. Going to be a good time. What are you going to be doing out here today? You going to be duffing around drinking beer with dudes?
I'm going to be teaching these guys how to play, basically. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do.
You're showing them how to use that belly putter you use?
I'm going to use the belly putter. I'll probably hit a few drives for them. They pay me to do that. So, I mean, whatever they need.
Do you think you can outdrive Minix?
Oh, my gosh. I get a baby out here to outdrive Minix. Are you kidding me?
What about Rob?
Well, him too. I've seen better swings on an abandoned playground with this guy.
Mine's a little rusty.
Yeah.
Get tetanus from my shot.
Are you the best golfer at the station?
Without a doubt.
Better than Pledge?
Pledge. I can take Pledge any day.
Really?
And he knows it.
You think so?
He dodges me. Dodges me. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, he ducks me all the time.
We might have a challenge.
I know.
We might have something coming up. Another reason to be back out.
I'm only good at hitting a ball far. I'm not good at hitting the ball straight, or I'm really not good at putting. So I'm a terrible golfer. But it is fun seeing these guys out here do it. So if you want to come play with Joe Reinagle, get on out here today.
Yep.
He'll be out here early, and then he's got to head off to do his show. But Joe, appreciate the time, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, fella.
Yeah, enjoy the day.
I hope I didn't hurt your feelings yesterday.
I don't.
It sounded like I did.
He doesn't like foul language.
That's what I think.
We're
not on a ship.
Yeah.
We're not on a boat.
I'm a little sensitive to language.
Yeah,
that's before I was in radio, I came up in the military and on an oil rig where
they don't cuss.
It was frowned upon.
I'm
to
sure,
talk like that. So I'm just not used to it.
I understand. I'm sorry. I'll think next time.
Thank you. All right, we'll be back. It's the Morning Huddle live from Golf Club of Texas, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you guys about Carbach Brewing. That's right, baby. That's what I'll be drinking up tonight later on. Oh, I see one right there. My man drinking a Love Street. Look at that. Oh, he brought brisket for us? What a guy. And he's drinking Carbach? What a guy. Friends, if you want something you want something a little different in your beer game, Carbach is the way to go. They have made San Antonio, Texas their second home. Born in Houston, but when they first decided to branch out, San Antonio was the market that they targeted. They said, we want to be all over San Antonio, and it has worked. They are in all the HEBs, all the liquor stores, of course, but there are so many bars and restaurants, you'd be surprised. Most places you go, it's available there. So if you're a fan of the Love Street, like my man that brought by the brisket for us, that's it. That's their light beer, their blonde, cold style ale. It's a very easy drinker. It's their best seller by far. The Hopadillo is their flagship IPA, or the Crawford Bock, which is my personal favorite. They've got something for everybody's taste. And it is, like I said, all over San Antonio. So when you're out and about this week, maybe you're out and about today, you're playing some golf out on the course, ask the cart girl, please make it a Carbach.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Being arrested isn't just a setback. It's a nightmare that can destroy your life and reputation. At Barton & Associates, we're here to make sure your one bad night doesn't turn into a lifetime of regret. Contact Barton & Associates today at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh, wow, honey, I love it. It's so beautiful and so sparkly.
Just like you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
I'll wear it every day. It goes with everything.
This Mother's Day, wow Mom with spirit-lifting, outfit-making, express your love jewelry. Shop jtv.com/mom for wow-worthy and budget-friendly styles.
I'm never taking it off.
Another wow factor? Sign up for JTV Text and get $30 off. If she loves jewelry, she'll love JTV.
If you owe money to the IRS, they'll come after you until you are flat broke. Don't just roll over and take it. The IRS has changed. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a huge break, as much as 87%. Haven't filed a return for years? It's time for Guardian Tax. Their happy clients are celebrating.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Is tax debt ruining your life? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Visit GuardianTax.com or call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. we've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So, who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, we are going to be live out at the Hangar Bar. That's the after party for our golf tournament. That's right. The Golf Club of Texas in the morning, the Hangar Bar in the afternoon. Jason Minix will be back, and we're going to have a lot of fun. You need to be there. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Yeah. Morning Huddle 94.1. Your camera's backwards, Rob.
Giving a lay of the land.
Oh. Smart. How's the brisket, Greg?
Yeah, where'd that brisket come from?
That fella brought it.
But I mean,
I guess he made
above
it.
and beyond that.
I don't know. I mean, from a cow.
Very nice
further
thing.
on beyond that.
Well, I hope.
From a cattle ranch.
Could be
I would assume.
buffalo.
No, I don't think so.
You never know.
I don't think so. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1. Thanks to Joe Reinagel for hopping on with us, talking a little golf. Not enough golf talk on this program is what he said.
Well,
he said, we just haven't had enough. And I said, you know what?
Because we're live fans.
That's right. Apologists, some would even call us.
I wear shorts and only play 54 holes.
Oh, just terrible. Just terrible. We were talking earlier, the NFL and kind of the quarterback drama, who's going to end up where. Now, even more drama maybe in New Orleans, as they're starting to say that the shoulder injury that Derek Carr has is now putting his status for the 2025 season in jeopardy. I have been a Derek Carr apologist. Like, I don't think Derek Carr is a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. I don't think he's ever going to win a Super Bowl. I mean, it'd take the perfect storm.
Yeah, but I don't think he would lose. Oh yeah,
he's never going to lead a team to the Super Bowl. Like if he were on that Vikings team last year, he would have had a better shot than Derek Carr's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold.
Exactly. He can win. I don't have a problem.
In the right circumstance, he could be, but usually it takes us a very special quarter, especially now. Like,
why did we hear this now? Why did we hear this a week before the draft? Where's this coming from, and who's floating it?
I think the reason why we're hearing it now is they're supposed to start their offseason program today.
Okay.
He's not going to be here.
You think they knew this last week? You think they knew this at the end of the year?
I don't know. I know that he had a shoulder injury a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He had sprained his AC joint, and then he played through it all season. Like, he just kept rolling with the punch. And then, like, the reason why he missed games last year was he broke his non-throwing hand.
Right.
And I think at that point, the Saints were out of the mix anyway. He probably could have come back sooner, and they were, what's the point?
So suddenly, a week before the draft, the Saints are telling us he might not even be here next year.
Yes.
So are they preparing their fandom for a move, a quarterback draft? Or are they preparing him? Like, look, we think you're going to be hurt. We're drafting a quarterback, or we're going after one.
No team has been more connected to Shedeur Sanders than the Saints.
So that's why, this isn't new news. Where'd that come from? Talk about Saints. Derek didn't just hurt himself last week.
Right.
I think they have known all along he ain't going to be back, or they're preparing their Saints fandom. Like, if you think he's going to be our quarterback, he might not be, and we might be drafting and playing a rookie next year.
Well, the Saints, remember, they drafted Jake Haener last year, Spencer Rattler the year before.
Well, he was a abject failure when I saw him play.
I think Spencer Rattler's bad at football. Yeah. That's just me.
Yeah, I do too.
Ben DiNucci is on the roster. Ben DiNucci also bad at football.
Hey, man, he learned from the best.
So if Derek Carr is not going to be available, they need to make a decision pretty quick. And there's, we were talking earlier about Kirk Cousins, and is that an option, trading for Kirk Cousins? Would the Falcons trade in division? I don't know.
Hell no.
Although it's not like, I don't know that Kirk Cousins is the kind of guy like, we never let you have Kirk Cousins. Like, who cares? You want to pay him, pay him.
Well, if you'll take the salary, I think I'd trade with anybody. But those two teams in specific, they
do not like each other. So it leaves you with the option of either going with a Jake Haener, Spencer Rattler, which would be, I think, a disaster. And I love Jake Haener in college.
And why didn't he play last year?
Jake Haener?
Yeah.
He did play a little bit.
Okay. But it was Rattler most of the time.
Because they invested higher in Rattler. They wanted to see, that's the guy they were hoping would be good. He's just not. But I do think if you're not going to go get a veteran, and right now, outside of Kirk Cousins, I don't think there's a veteran that can help you. And yes, I understand that Aaron Rodgers is still available.
I can't imagine telling my fans the week before the draft that my quarterback might not play next year, and the Saints not do anything.
They have to do something.
Obviously,
that's what
they're
saying.
drafting a quarterback.
They cannot go into the season with the assumption that Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler is their starter, which means your option is basically now draft a quarterback, and that may entail moving up to draft a quarterback.
So what do they got?
Because they've got the 9th pick.
So at 9,
it might have to. You may have to figure out who's in competition to get a quarterback with you, and you may have to jump up to the top 5 and get a guy that. Again, I'm not crazy about any of these quarterbacks at the top of the draft. I really hate the idea of trading up to get one of them, but the Saints are in a really bad spot now with this news.
I like Mickey Loomis. I think he's a pretty good GM. I don't know how his salary structure is a little odd, but I think that he's consistently found talent. I don't think Loomis is after those two. I think Shedeur, they'd like to see him fall, but I don't think they're going to go up. They could get a quarterback at 9. You can fall back. You can get Dart late if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I wouldn't
draft him at 9. I'd move back to get him.
Is a 2nd-round pick going to be enough to satisfy the masses?
Well, I thought if you'd have told me and been quiet and just told me that Carr's going to be okay, we have no reason to doubt, and we're going to draft a 3rd or 4th rounder, just as every team should be,
and then kind of hit the
and then
fans
suddenly go, oh crap!
Oh man, it's bad with Carr. We're going to have to play this kid.
That's the way I would have played it if that was in fact the case. If I thought, well, he might not be there, but I can't intimate that because I'm trying to sign some free agents. I don't want him to think my quarterback sucks too, and go draft a rookie and no, he's not ready, and play that guy and act as if, and then maybe even move up or move around to get the exact quarterback instead of waiting. But there's a method to this madness. I don't understand why you drop this unless you're warning us or you're telling other teams, hey, man, I might be in the market for a trade.
Yeah, it is a weird deal. They restructured Derek Carr's contract a little over a month ago.
They did.
Yeah, but they mostly restructured it to where – because he signed that deal in 2023. He's got 2 years left on it. But basically the way they restructured it is they're married to him for this season, and they've got a nice out after this season. But – if he's going to be unavailable this season, this may be the end of the Derek Carr era in New Orleans.
They're drafting a quarterback and they're moving up to get him.
I think they have to.
I think that you just told me enough.
Yeah. They've got $27 million in cap space available. But again, who out there is worth spending $27 million on? There isn't a quarterback available that's worth that. The biggest name you can get is Aaron Rodgers. Your team I would rather lose with Jake Haener and Spencer Rattler than lose with Aaron Rodgers.
I think Loomis is the same way. I don't think they would even begin to entertain it just because they've got so many things they've got to get done.
But I think their hope is probably we could figure out what's going on with Derek Carr's shoulder and get him back. Because even though the Saints aren't in love with Derek Carr, I think looking around the rest of that quarterback room makes Derek Carr look a lot better.
I tell you, I got a taste of Derek Carr last year at the opening of the season. Guy can still sling it.
Yeah, I said this a lot last year. Look at the games the Saints played when Derek Carr started and finished the game, and look at the games where someone else either started or finished the game. And the Saints are like one of the best teams in the league.
Well, in hindsight,
when Derek Carr plays, they are garbage when he doesn't.
They ended the Cowboys season last year on week what? Was that 1?
I think it was week 2.
Week 2? I mean, that was it.
And that's the moment where we're like, maybe the Cowboys aren't very good.
This is bad. So, yeah, when Derek's up and healthy, they can still win it.
Yeah, Derek Carr still has something in the tank. I believe that. But he might not have any this year. And that's it's really put the Saints in a difficult spot.
Jackson Dart's going to be a New Orleans Saint.
It wouldn't shock me.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a kid played at Ole Miss.
I'm telling you, this feels
right there
natural,
in the area. It sure does. Wouldn't shock me a single bit if that ended up being the case.
Just don't overdraft him at 9.
No, I can't imagine they would do that. But if they don't get the guy, if they don't trade up and get Shedeur, or maybe Shedeur fall. I've seen Shedeur go as high as 2 and as low as like 28. So,
well, that low as 28 was when we didn't know that Derek Carr could be out. If we'd all been aware of that, I'd have been penciling Shedeur in at 9 all along.
I think now there's some teams that should probably call the Saints and say, hey, man, you want this pick? Here's what it's going to cost you. I know you need a quarterback. We don't really need one. Or if I'm the Cleveland Browns and I do need a quarterback, but if you could just pass a physical, Derek, do you think you could pass a physical? We move to Cleveland tomorrow. Oh, there are a lot of options, but we'll when we come back, we'll take a look at as now we're 10 days away from the NFL draft. We'll take a look at the latest mock and see what it's got to say. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about Manrique Custom Vision, friends. Manrique, if you're tired of wearing glasses, you're tired of wearing contacts, I don't blame you. It's a pain. I was talking to somebody who's like, yeah, I take my contacts off and I have to sleep with my glasses literally on my chest because if I wake up, I won't be able to find my glasses. That's how poor my vision is. Imagine not having to deal with that at all. They've got blade-free, pain-free lace, totally safe, totally comfortable, and it'll give you the best possible vision without glasses or contacts. No need to carry that stuff around anymore. Dr. Manrique has over 25 years experience. He's done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. That is an unbelievable number. So the experience is there. And if you're worried about the cost of it, well, they offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today. See how they can get you out of those glasses, out of those contacts for good. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. It's Manrique Custom Vision.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working this trouble spot on the northeast side on 35 southbound at Thousand Oaks. It's a stall. It's blocking the right lane, causing a 17-minute delay. That has you slow from right around Schertz Parkway. On 35 southbound Schertz Parkway, that accident did clear. Still working the stall at 410 northbound at North WWI, now off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
My name is John Clay Wolf. I'm the founder of GiveMeTheVin.com. Every month, for the next 10 months, everyone that sells us their car to GiveMeTheVin.com will get put in a drawing for a $25,000 winner. We're going to pull one of you out of a hat, and somebody's going to win 25 grand. So we're paying more, and you might win 25 grand. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's Best Car Buyer for nothing.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle. Playing us in with some Texas boys. Thank you, friends. Crank it up, Vic.
Who is this?
Pantera.
What is it? What is it?
Pantera.
Pantera.
What do you say? That's right. Can't you see I'm easily bothered by persistence? One step from lashing out at you. All right. Call yourself a friend.
That's get up and go music right there.
Oh, this is the good stuff. All right. We were talking about the Saints and their situation at quarterback, and that it does leave a big question about what they're going to do. I believe fully they are now in a situation where their hand is kind of forced. I hate to think that any team feels that way on draft day, but
I just find it odd that they told us this.
I do too.
This is a very strange. So you wonder, all I can think of is, okay, there had to have been a reason behind telling their fans that your quarterback ain't going to be ready, or it's possible. That's not enough to come out and say this in April. You know, in June, you can come out and say, man, we've done everything we can. It might not happen this year. But in April, right before the draft, that tells me that they are preparing us because they are trying to do something.
Well, the the latest NFL mock, NFL.com, did their mock draft over the weekend. And once again, it appears that Cam Ward is now almost a consensus number one pick. It seems like all talk of, well, could it be Abdul Carter? It seems like that's all out the window.
Do you believe it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have no reason not to, but I just keep falling on the fact that
I stand by it's a bad decision.
The best player in the draft is Carter. And
I believe so.
And if you're just not absolutely sold that Cam Ward is at the bare minimum, a 5-year starter, like will start every game for you until you trade him or he's hurt, I can't imagine drafting him. And I don't see that in Cam or Shedeur. I just don't.
I don't either, but I also understand the other side of it, that if you don't have a quarterback you think you can win with, you have to try and find one. And the Titans know they can't win with Will Levis.
Oh, there's no doubt. But I just feel like, I feel like you're
setting yourself up for failure again. But again, you got to take these swings. I get it. It's just it's not how I would run a franchise, but it seems to be that's the way that NFL rosters or NFL GMs feel like they have to run it. With the second pick, it's got the Browns taking Carter, although it does say that more and more buzz has Travis Hunter going number 2 to the Browns.
If we have a draft, seriously, where Cam Ward goes 1 and Travis Hunter goes 2.
Yeah.
Where there's a strong possibility, like in 4 years, neither one of them's worth anything. Now, I'm not saying they won't be in the league, but because I think Travis Hunter will be in the league just because he's that skilled. But
I think Travis Hunter, the good thing is if he's not a great corner, you've got an option to try something else with him.
It will be it's always a crapshoot. Not always, but for the most part, it's a crapshoot at 1. And in 2, you're just happy that you didn't have to make the crapshoot. You got the guy that fell in your lap. If you don't draft Carter at 2, he fell in your lap. I mean, I don't understand the methodology here. Now, I get Flacco and Pickett and the issues you got, but you have the best guy in the draft that he fell into your lap at 2. I don't know how you high five and you walk out.
The third pick, they've got the Giants taking Travis Hunter, who the Giants apparently the rumor was they saw him as a cornerback, but now they're saying, well, him and Malik Neighbors, that makes some sense. And for a team that's been bereft of offensive talent for a couple of years, it does make some sense.
I get it, but so you think they would pass up on a quarterback?
Apparently.
See, I'm not buying this. I can't imagine this scenario where both.
You think they would take Shedeur at 3?
I think so.
I haven't heard anybody say the Giants should take Shedeur at 3.
Well, I'm not saying what they should or shouldn't do, but it just seems like if teams are constantly in a search for a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, and if what's funny is if the Browns take Abdul Carter, or if they take Travis Hunter, I don't know if Abdul Carter is a fit for the Giants because they have so many guys at that position already.
That would be
Burns
the one team
Thibodeau,
that I could see passing for need more than just best player available.
And that may be if I'm the Giants, maybe I call the Saints. Hey.
Well, that again, the Saints said this for a reason. They told it out, maybe so they're on the top of mind. Anytime there's a trade opportunity, they're going to call the Saints. But they let us know this for a purpose, not just to edify their fans to make them prepared just in case he's not there. I don't think that was behind it.
I also believe a team that will be more than willing to trade away their pick is the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, I believe, are looking for quantity of picks because they need so many things. But it's got them taking Mason Graham at 4, the defensive tackle for Michigan.
But if Carter falls there,
it's automatic.
Done deal.
New England's the first team that really has the option to say we want the best player available.
And if Carter falls to them, oh, man, here we go again.
Yeah.
It's the Lakers getting Luka. Are you kidding me?
This is the first time I've seen this. Ashton Jeanty, number 5 to the Jacksonville Jags.
I get it.
A running back at 5.
Oh,
my God. I do not.
No, I'm not saying it's right, but I get it. You know why? Over the weekend, for some reason, I blundered on a Jacksonville highlight reel that had Mojo D running. And I saw Jacksonville fan going nuts. And I remember the Fred Taylor years, and I remember the Mojo D years. And I think, you know what?
Those are
that's kind of what
10 and 15 years ago, respectively.
But I'm just saying, you know what Jacksonville needs is a bell cow. Maybe that's enough to get the pressure off of Sunshine And Etienne wasn't the answer. In fact, I can't remember the last time they had a bell cow. Maybe that's the fix.
Maybe so.
Maybe. I'm not saying it's the right pick, but I get it.
Trevor Lawrence, only once in his career have they had a top 20 ground game, and that was the year that he made a Pro Bowl and they won the AFC South.
So it makes some sense to me. It's too high for the guy, but I wouldn't be upset with him if they did it.
Raiders at 6 take Will Campbell, the tackle from LSU.
They can't screw it up.
Jets at 7 take Armand Membu, the offensive tackle from Missouri. 8, the Dallas Cowboys trade up to number 8. How about that?
Okay, for one spot. Who do they think that they were going to lose?
They're at 11. Remember?
Okay, 3 spots. Who do they chase? It's a wide receiver.
This worries me that this is the name that they have them trading up for. This worries me about the other huge negotiation going on in Dallas.
So linebacker?
Jalen Walker, edge rusher from Georgia, who, by the way, I think is very, very good.
Yeah.
But that's a little scary. If you're like, and now maybe the idea is we're going to pair Mike and this guy, and then that's really hot. That's awesome. But it's also a little bit of insurance in case, So it might be something that Micah goes, oh, this is awesome. Like, you gave me somebody on the other side, which they need anyway. But it would make you nervous as a Cowboy fan that they're going to find a way.
Do you think Jerry and Steven are that strategic that they would draft?
I don't know.
That's a pretty look over the curve of the earth, 1,000-yard stare kind of move. That's very un-Cowboy-esque.
I do see it as if you bring Micah back, now you've got something that you haven't had before.
Yeah, I think there's some of it feels brilliant to me. Like, okay, I get it, but it certainly doesn't. Your team isn't vastly improved. You just got to protect a safety net just in case next year things go south.
Number 9, the Saints. He fell to him here. Shedeur Sanders.
See, I can see this. Yeah.
And it talks about how Kellen Moore has done good things with young quarterbacks, namely Dak and Jalen Hurts. Number 10, Mykel Williams, the edge rusher from Georgia, to the Bears. Number 11, the 49ers take Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle from Oregon. And then the Panthers, who traded back to 12, get the cornerback from Texas, Jahdae Barron.
Wow.
With that 12th pick. Other guys of note, Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. He goes 14 to the Colts.
So he goes before the Penn State?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Mostly because I think people look at him as the more complete
blocker
versus just the guy who can catch passes. Although typically we see the one-way pass catchers being overdrafted more than anything. Usually they're like, oh, can he block? Well, that's awesome if he can. If he can't, whatever. He'll catch touchdowns.
Miami. He'll just be a big, tall wide receiver.
Matthew Golden to Arizona, the Texas wide receiver there, pairing him with Marvin Harrison Jr. That'd be a nice little duo for Kyler. Who else is of note in the first round? Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State, has him going 19 to the Chargers. Tedero McMillan, 20 to the Broncos, who do need some help. And McMillan's a guy who I've seen go top 10 and second round.
Yeah,
I don't know what to think of where he's going to go, but I do think that Bo Nix needs some weapons around.
Yeah, if they don't do that, Sean Payton's not fulfilling his end of the bargain. They got to give him more.
Pittsburgh, Omarion Hampton, the running back from North Carolina.
So that's the two. Those are the two backs.
Those are the two running backs projected to go in round 1. Kelvin Banks, the Texas offensive tackle, projected 24 to the Pats here. The Texans, Josh Connerly, offensive tackle out of Oregon. Obviously, with Laramie Tunsil being gone, they need some offensive line. They needed offensive line help when Laramie Tunsil was there. Now they need even more. Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher from A&M, goes 26 to the Lions.
He's another guy I've seen first round, second round.
Yeah. Jahad Campbell, the Alabama linebacker, goes 28 to the Rams. And is Walter Nolan, is he the former Aggie?
He was at A&M. He's out of Tennessee. Then he went to...
He's at Ole Miss now, right?
Ole Miss, yeah.
It's got him 30 to Buffalo. He is the guy who, in 2022... ESPN ranked as the top player in the country, ahead of Travis Hunter.
Yep.
And and he's the 14th consensus All-American in Ole Miss history. What did Buffalo just not, or did Aggie just not want to pay him, or what?
Well, Jimbo left.
Oh, that was the deal.
Yeah.
And then it's got Devon Ezeroku. I'm terrible at saying that guy's name, to the Eagles. Another edge rusher. Surprisingly, not from Georgia. I guess all the Georgia edge rushers have already been taken, so they take him from Boston College.
Philly's screwed in the second round. I'll tell you this: that top 10 felt pretty likely.
Yeah,
it did. I still don't know what. I mean, I guess that we can just assume the Titans are going to go ahead and take Cam. It just feels like they're going to go that route. But
is there a position the Cowboys could draft besides quarterback that would feel like, I can't believe they're doing this? Doesn't it feel like they could take pretty much anybody and it'd be like, yeah, that makes sense?
I think if they swung again at left tackle, even though we're not sure about this tackle, you go that high 2 years in a row at the same position, you'd get a little yikes factor.
You do need two tackles.
No, you're right. And, I think.
And it's also not crazy to think that maybe Guyton could be better if he was moved inside.
It's possible.
You just lost your best guard. Like, yeah,
I agree with everything you're saying, but when you do that, it's kind of an admittance that we screwed up last year. And, it's hard for GMs to do that. I don't think there's a position that we would be upset with as a Cowboy fan. Seriously, you could go left tackle, right tackle. I don't think there's anything. No, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. You could say, we're adding depth. No, there's not a single position you're adding depth. You're adding talent.
The only thing that would shock me is a quarterback. I think any other position, it'd be like, okay, yeah, makes sense. They could use that.
And I'll tell you, even something crazy is, even if Shador fell and they drafted it, it'd be crazy, but it wouldn't shock me that much. I think that they truly are in a situation that they really can't screw it up until we see him play. No matter who they show us, we'll be happy because there'll be a designated need for it. And then it might be another Taco Charlton draft, but at least it'll be a guy that we felt like we needed.
Yeah, it does kind of feel that way, man. All right, dude.
They're lining up, man.
They are ready
about to go off.
Are we going to hear the shotgun? Who's going to shoot it?
I don't know.
I would love to be the guy who shoots the shotgun to start a shotgun.
Shelton, did you bring yours?
He's got a shotgun? Okay. He's got it in his trunk. Shelton, he strikes me as a guy who would have road rage. Get out with a baseball bat. 1 hour to go. Morning Huddle live from Golf Club of Texas, 94.1.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Guys over 40, tired of feeling tired? Testosterone therapy by Synergenics is the answer. This April, the consultation is free. Treatment covered by most major insurance. Don't wait for online meds. Walk into their clinic, see a provider, feel great today. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyer4us.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat $1 billion insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community when and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, $1 billion insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
1-800-400 or check out my website, alawyer4us.com.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
If you owe money to the IRS, they'll come after you until you are flat broke. Don't just roll over and take it. The IRS has changed. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a huge break, as much as 87%. Haven't filed a return for years? It's time for Guardian Tax. Their happy clients are celebrating.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Is tax debt ruining your life? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Visit GuardianTax.com or call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still working this trouble spot on the northeast side on 35 southbound at Thousand Oaks. It's a stall. It's blocking the right lane, causing a 17-minute delay. That has you slow from right around Schertz Parkway. On 35 southbound Schertz Parkway, that accident did clear. Still working the stall at 410 northbound at North WW White, now off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
We have a Masters champion. Rory McIlroy finally did it. He becomes the 5th player to complete golf's Triple Crown in the win, the Masters playoff against Justin Rose. San Antonio Spurs season came to an end yesterday. They beat the Raptors 125-118, led by Keldon Johnson's 23 and Steph Castle's 20. They came from 22 behind. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
9:01 on the Morning Huddle. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, the Spring Golf Classic out here at the Golf Club of Texas.
They're all mounted up.
They're all ready to roll, baby, except for us. We got to work for a little while longer, and then we'll go catch up.
We will find them, and we'll catch up in a variety of ways.
We'll have our shotgun start at the first hole. First shotgun a couple Yingling flights.
Think that cooler over there is empty?
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I hope there's at least 2 left.
I have a feeling, Renee,
we'll have our own shotgun start.
By Yingling, we'll have a few left.
Yeah, Greg will shotgun a beer with us, I hope. That's a good way to start the day. The best way to start the day, even, I would say. Speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, which we just were, there's now a list of all the teams and who they've talked to, like who they've brought in for their visits. You know, you're allowed to bring up to 30 players in for visits, and you get to kind of get to know the guy. Like especially if you're at like the top of a draft, you want to make sure that you get to know the guys and see how you feel about them, and maybe a decision to be made. Now, if you're picking where the Cowboys pick, doesn't make a lot of sense to bring in Cam Ward. Or because you're not going to get Cam Ward.
But you never know. You never know if sometime down the road they become a free agent, and you bring 30 dudes in. You're only going to draft 4, 5. So there's some strategery to it. You can throw other teams off the scent by the guys you bring in. I do know this: the Cowboys just about always will only draft people they've interviewed. They very rarely will not draft somebody that they didn't bring in. So. If you're one of the 30, that's normally one of the dudes that will get drafted.
Well, I'll tell you what, based on the list of players that the Cowboys have talked to, running back and wide receiver both seem to be priorities in this draft. Remember, you can bring in 30 guys. How many running backs out of those 30 do you think they
Gosh,
use?
I didn't think there'd be enough to even bring in. 4?
7.
7? Okay.
They have talked to Ashton Genty, Ollie Gordon, Damian Martinez from Miami.
Okay.
Basul Tootin from Virginia Tech, who's a made-up person, but they still talk to him. Omarion Hampton from North Carolina, and both Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson from Ohio State.
Well, you know, that's Zeke land. They're comfortable with Ohio State running back, so I'm not surprised there.
Wide receivers: Savion Williams from TCU, Matthew Golden from Texas, Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State, Teteroa McMillan from Arizona, and Luther Burden III from Missouri.
They're bringing in the good ones.
So that is five receivers and 7 running backs.
Well, they brought in all the top receivers. That tells me one thing, that they are genuinely looking at the best wide receiver in the crowd, because those are the ones.
So on top of those 12, also 5 offensive linemen and 1 quarterback they've brought in.
And who was that?
Quinn Ewers, University of Texas.
Wouldn't be a surprise at all.
Well, it's a guy you don't have to draft in round 1, certainly.
I think they'd be very happy to see him sitting around there in the 4th round.
Some of the other names that they've brought in: Alfred Collins, also from Texas; Andrew Makuba, the safety from Texas, so a couple Texas guys; Walter Nolan from Ole Miss; Shamar Turner from A&M; James Pierce, the defensive end from Tennessee, who's a damn good player; Michael Williams from Georgia. Mm-hmm. So it does look like D-line and skill position offense are the ways that they're looking in this draft.
My gut says wide receiver.
I mean, wide receiver and offensive line are the 2 positions. I guess defensive line as well, or if you like edge rush, D-line, whatever you think. If they stay at 12, that are most likely. If the Cowboys take a running back at 12, I think they've overdrafted. I don't care that Ashton Genty's being talked about as a top 5 pick now.
I'll tell you this: if he's at 12, they'll draft him.
I know they will.
They will draft him at 12.
I always think drafting a running back in the 1st round is a bad idea unless they're like a generational superstar type.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Ashton Genty is that.
He's not, but there's some teams that need a running back, and I think the Cowboys do. Just to feel like you're the Cowboys, you got to have a back that you trust and feel like could go win a game for you on your own. And you're right, the league is not set that way unless you have a Saquon, but there's only one of those.
And when you play behind the offensive line the Cowboys have right now,
I agree.
How's it going to help you?
I just feel like if there's a back, if Genty's there at 12, they're going to take him. But my gut just feels like they've got to help their high-paid quarterback. They got to do everything they can to justify the dollars. And if they can get him in the MVP conversation like he was a couple of years ago, whether they're winning or not, I mean, whether they're playoff bound or not, that's another question. But if they can get Dak throwing for 4,000 and 30 touchdowns if they're not winning, at least Jerry can justify the money, and he's got a couple of wide receivers that he can talk about. And I think at the end of the day, offense moves the needle more than defense. So that's the only reason I would go there. If I was the GM, I would draft nothing but defensive dudes. First 3 picks would be defense. Because I know those guys will. I can draft somebody, a team that'll come to play every Sunday.
I think I would draft defense or offensive line. That's what I would do.
Contact positions, I should say. I would draft nothing but contact.
What I call them is fat people.
Yeah.
If you ain't weighing 280 or more, I don't want you.
Somebody that's going to hit somebody on every play, that's the way I'd go. But that just doesn't move the needle, certainly not in Dallas and certainly not for Jerry.
It's not sexy. It's not. It's not fun to say, "Ooh, look what we got." Look at what's this guy's 40 time, whatever. Like that. That's not fun, but that's how you build winning football teams.
And honestly, if I was a general manager and I had an owner that was amenable, I would move up to 1 and get Carter. I know what Micah Parsons did for the Cowboys for 2 years. I know the effect that a guy like that can have. And it doesn't translate to wins every game, but it translates into highlights. It translates into jersey sales. Wow. It translates into so many things about the mentality of my team. I would move up, forget the quarterbacks. I'd go get Carter.
What I say all the time about elite pass rushers, and there might be 7 or 8 of these guys in the NFL, they make a good defense look great, and they make a bad defense look serviceable.
Just acceptable. And that's enough sometimes. It really is.
It covers up everything. It covers up having a bad secondary. It covers up a bad running game. It covers up a lot of stuff to have a guy who can get you a sack every game.
And if you tell me that they're going to move up and go get Jalen from Georgia, I'm down. I'm with you. That's the way, if I was running this team, I would go. And sorry, Dak, I'm spending all this money, but no help's coming. You're going to have to earn it. And once you're done, you're done. But I got to be able to stop the ball. I got to stop Jaden for the next 8 years. I got to be able to do some things long after you're gone.
I was shocked when I looked at the Texans visits list, because in my mind, the Texans had to be prioritizing offensive line. They are so bad protecting C.J. Stroud right now. And he's your future. He's your franchise.
Think of all the teams out there that know what you can do to your quarterback when he's laying on his back for the first 3 years of his career. I mean, of all the teams that should know better, they should.
Well, I was shocked. They have only interviewed 4 offensive linemen, and only one of them that's projected in the first round, which tells me one of 2 things. Either they don't see it as much of a priority as I think they should, or the one guy, Josh Connerly from Oregon, that they've interviewed, they've decided he's the one, and if he's not there, they're going to be in a world of surprise. And Josh Connerly is not a guy I've heard being like, a top 10 pick, but he's a guy that would make sense where the Texans are. I don't think it'd be a terrible reach to take him there, but if he's gone and all you've interviewed is like, these guys like Charles Grant from William and Mary, now all of a sudden it's like, that guy, you're going to draft him to play left tackle?
Yeah, especially if those that you haven't interviewed, where they're drafted, you have no idea how things are going to
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised they haven't talked to 3 or 4 dudes that are in that range.
So makes me think they either are relying on scouting reports from others and playing possum, or they have another plan, man.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine not coming in with at least 2 new offensive linemen on that starting. I mean, I don't know where you're going to get them, whether you draft them or bring them in after the draft, but you can't start the season with this line.
Which also means you could see them trade down, something like that. But the thing, though, I'm telling you this, the hardest thing to find later in drafts is offensive line. Like, there's just so few of those elite level offensive linemen that it's the same. And we talk about this in college football all the time. What's the difference between Alabama and, let's say like a Louisville? Let's say a step down from Louisville, like, because there's great receivers all over the place. Arizona has a first-round receiver. Missouri has a first-round receiver. The difference is Alabama gets the best fat guys, for lack of a better term, like offensive linemen. When you get these 300-pound offensive linemen who can actually play, that it just separates you from everybody else. And it's the same deal in the NFL. The teams that have the best offensive lines are usually really good. You just can't you can't BS it the way you can other positions. You know what I mean?
No, you can't hide.
Because you can't fake size, and particularly size that can actually move around the way these guys can.
Your skill positions can't out-athlete the defense.
No.
They can't outrun them like they did before. The offensive line doesn't lie. If it's not good, it's obvious.
That is the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to fake, is what I always say. And you can fake it with a bunch of different wide receivers.
I will say this, though. I do believe that you can scheme your way to a good offensive line. You can scheme your way out of a poor or average offensive line, or at least that skill group, more than any other position. I think you give me a bunch of average offensive linemen, I can put together an offense to protect or at least go to their strength and keep my quarterback standing upright.
I think you can do that in college. You can absolutely do that in high school. I think in the NFL it's very difficult.
I think there's only a couple coaches that are capable of it, and I think Sean Payton is a master of that. You just give me an offensive line, and we'll figure out once I get a healthy group whether we're what's that old Denver that counter tray move that they used to that's kind of illegal
Kubiak move.
Yeah, that illegal kind of crack back block. Yeah. I can take an average offensive line and scheme my way into acceptability. But you got to have the right coach and the right dudes and
the right attitude of those dudes.
And that's rare.
So Denver, when they won their back-to-back Super Bowls, I'm
thinking that
line,
scheme. Yeah,
that was like Mark Schlereth, Dan Neal,
undersized but really skilled and not overpaid, but mobile and agile. I think you can find those guys that can do that, but those coaches are hard to get. And then you have to have an OC that understands the situation they're in.
There goes the blitz guys heading out to the course.
Heading out.
That's the smart golf cart right there. Prioritize beer over golf clubs.
I get the pickup cup?
Who needs clubs? We got a couple coolers of beer. I think about Army.
Exactly.
Army has a bunch of 240, 250-pound offensive linemen, but the way they scheme gives them a chance.
Now, you can never 7-step drop, ever.
No. That's the thing, though. In the NFL, if you can't do that, you can't really compete.
That's the problem.
You can't run the option in the NFL.
Right.
It's just, it doesn't work. So it's I think that the Texans would be foolhardy if they thought they're just going to get by with what they've got at offensive line.
And, Tunsil, for all of the issue, the entire time he was with Houston, he was acceptable. He wasn't great. I don't think what I'm trying to get at, I don't think it's going to be that hard to replace it. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was very talented, but I think the sum total of what Tunsil will be replaceable.
Well, based on, certainly he's better than what they had. The problem is apparently he just wasn't a good soldier.
Yeah, well,
and
don't tell me that.
D'Amico Ryans was like, dude, I'd rather have. I always said this about the guys that I drank beer with, because I know some guys who have world-class beer and booze, and would I like to sit down and sip on that stuff? Yeah, but not at the expense of hanging out with people I don't want to hang around with. I always say I'll drink B-level booze with A-level people rather than A-level booze with C-level people.
I'm going to need a lot more of that booze.
And I think they thought that Laramie Tunsil, even though the game was there, he's a C-level person.
Yeah.
And D'Amico Ryans was like, I don't want this guy in my locker room.
So I don't feel like he's going to be that hard to replace as a sum total. Now, they're going to miss him. Don't get me wrong, but locker room matters.
It is. Locker room matters, but so does talent.
Yeah.
And, man, it sucks when you got to kick the best guy on your line out of the locker room, because it's hard to replace.
Those addition by subtraction decisions are hard to come by.
All right, it is 9:16. We're inching closer to Rob and I getting out on the golf course. We'll take a look at what's going on in the world outside of sports on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dr. Jacob Torres, the Institute for Functional Health. Dr. Torres is my primary care physician. He didn't start that way. When I first met Dr. Torres over at the Institute for Functional Health, I walked in the doors wanting to talk about weight loss. Well, I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I was just looking for a conversation because I didn't think I was going to be a good candidate for what he did. And it turns out I was. But I had to talk to him to find out that I was. See, the Institute for Functional Health is appropriately named because I've never met a physician or a group of medical professionals more eager to get you off of medications. Now, of course, you need to stay on the things you need to stay on. But if you can right your life and if you can fix your lifestyle, so many of the things that you're dealing with can go away. Those statins, those blood pressure medications, those pain pills that you're taking for your knees and your ankles can go away. Those sleeping medications that you're having to take because you can't sleep because you're snoring all night long. Those vape masks that you have to strap to your face to go to sleep. That can go away too, all with losing a little bit of weight. Now, what Dr. Torres does with weight loss is unique because this isn't about pills or shots. This isn't about some sort of crash diet. This is weight loss the old-fashioned way, taking in fewer calories than you take in, but the mental side is addressed. And that's why Dr. Torres and the Institute have been so successful, because they understand the mindset of people like you and me, how we got to be overweight and what is required to lose that weight. If it's time for you, I want you to call them today. The number is 210-468-1891. If you're tired of what you see in the mirror, or a doctor is telling you if you don't lose more weight, you're going to have some more medical issues, now's the time to talk to Dr. Torres. You need more information? You should. I want you to go to his website. It's iffhealth.com. Go answer the functional health questions. Do the due diligence before you make the call, but make that call. Talk to him and let him explain to you why he's been so successful with people like me and like you. If it's time to lose weight, I want you to call Dr. Torres today. Let him change your life, and when he does, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your midday commute, 410 north on FM 78. Still working this accident, right lane, as you stop and go from Rigsby. Downtown on 35, upper level, northbound Cesar Chavez. That's a disabled vehicle. Looks like they moved it off a main lane, now off to the shoulder. And on 281 northbound Airport, we've got a stall, now off to the shoulder. If you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out, 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small, loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
I can't believe they're moving the team to another city.
True, but you'll never forget all the joy they brought into your life.
Joy? They made the playoffs twice in 50 years.
Gosh, those 2 times were pretty great, weren't they?
How would I know? I wasn't even born yet.
Just think of all the free time you'll have on game days.
Those games were the highlight of my week.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Transforming your land with a John Deere compact tractor is as easy as connect, latch, load, haul, spread. Cutting grass is as simple as roll, click, mow. Box blading is as effortless as hook, lock, grade. And backhoeing is as convenient as turn around, switch, dig. Because when you've got the versatility to tackle just about any job and dealer support in your own backyard, you just have to get in the seat. Find the right compact tractor for you at johndeere.com.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thank you, Rob, for bringing us in. Not you, Rob Zombie.
Oh, that guy.
That's right.
Handsome man, I'm told.
He is the Astro freak. Hey, I like to take a look at what's going on in the world outside of sports just to see, how the world is progressing. But this one this does have a little bit of a sports tinge to it. A West Virginia high school student, a basketball player, has, he's repeatedly fouled this season and actually broke a player's nose.
Okay.
And it's gotten to the point where he is now facing felony charges.
Wait a minute. Okay. Now, this happened in San Antonio one time. We had a fight where a kid actually did some jail time.
So a West Virginia 18-year-old student, Gage Ketterman, he plays at Harmon School. He was arrested last Monday for what the police are calling an attack. The injured student's mother notified state police hours after the game between Union and Harmon high schools. The woman claimed her son was elbowed in the face by Ketterman, and his nose was bleeding profusely for more than 4 hours. He had to be taken to a hospital, and he had a broken nose. The video showed Ketterman jab his elbow directly in the face of an opposing player. And throughout the game, the clip also showed him allegedly taunting multiple players by striking them in the back of the head. Authorities also noted that in the video, it looked like he was wiping something off the elbow he had just used to strike his player. He could have now been rubbing his elbow because it hit someone in the face.
You think he had like icy hot, so he was trying to get it in their eyes?
But what the officers concluded that the action seemed, quote, intentional and criminally malicious in nature. And because he's 18, he will be charged as an adult. One warrant was issued for malicious assault, 2 others for attempted malicious assault. He was arrested and released the same day after posting a $12,000 bond.
Wow. Boy, you're walking a very fine line.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is one of those, I hate to use the same kind of definition. I don't know what assault looks like on a sports court or field, but I know it when I see it. It's like porn. I don't know what an assault is until I see it. I do think there's a place for this, but it's a very small place.
I think it's got to be like you take off, like when Myles Garrett ripped that dude's helmet off and swung it at him.
Something like that. But even then, I think there's the heat of battle argument that, hey, this is controlled violence. That's the intent in football, especially in basketball. It's a fine line. I mean, what's the difference between a flagrant one and a felony?
Apparently not much.
A lot of times it's about the same thing. So I don't know. I just want to be very, very careful here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it. If he was assaulting somebody and everybody saw it, says, yeah, that was criminal, then it probably was. But it better be down. It better be by under every definition and not be used very often.
4 men in Louisiana have been arrested for riding their emotional support horses into a Walmart.
So where was this?
In Louisiana. Where else could it have been?
Well, it could have been here.
I mean, this is they asked why you rode the horses in, and they said we really didn't have a reason other than it would be something fun to do. It was fun. We were famous. That's all. We didn't want to hurt nobody. We always ride in. We just wanted to do it that day. That's my emotional support animal. I think we have to draw the line of emotional support animals somewhere. And I think horses inside public buildings, that's where the line is. I feel safe drawing it there.
So, with a straight face, they try to justify this?
It just wrote on it.
Yeah, we're just, it's just another day.
Yeah. I don't get it. It's not for me. They apparently people had to go they ended up turning themselves in because the police were looking for them.
They're going to get a posse and go find them?
I don't know. I just don't. They call themselves the Cutthroat Cowboys. I don't know if they're trying to become a gang or what.
Why didn't they just ask the manager? Why did they just?
Well, because what if they said no?
Well, I mean, then go to another store. I don't understand I don't understand what the attempt.
I'm guessing in Baker, Louisiana, there's only one store big enough to ride 4 horses.
Hey, man,
inside.
ride them on in. And I don't have a real problem with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't want animals in the store.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like it when people I don't like when people take their dogs into stores.
I walked by more than once yesterday at the Spurs game. A guy had brought his emotional support dog, and he even had a little blanket.
I love dogs, but I just think there's a place for them. It's not in the grocery store.
And can you have an emotional support horse? I guess you can have a horse that's certified for emotional support.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't know
if you have an emotional support horse, does that mean you can guide him or ride him anywhere you want?
You can't ride him in Walmart. I can tell you that. Not in Louisiana.
Take him on my plane ride.
Terrible, terrible news. I don't know how much you saw of this in Kentucky. A national tragedy has struck, quite frankly, as the Buffalo Trace distillery was flooded. The stupid climate change flooded the Kentucky River, and it flooded the distillery. Now, luckily,
the casks are waterproof, right?
They were able to get most of the barrels they were able to get upstairs, away from any floodwaters. But there were barrels that were affected. They're all having to go through like a screening process now to make sure that what's inside the barrels is unaffected.
Yikes!
But it does say that there could be some product loss here. What does that mean? Are we going to is bourbon going to be more expensive now?
Well,
thank God I've got a collection. I've got enough to last me a while.
Well, the Canadians aren't buying our alcohol anymore, so it'll be, they're not taking it. So
I'm going to be like the people in COVID who bought up all the toilet paper early.
My Blantons. I got trouble with my Blanton's supply.
Buffalo
Trace,
I can afford it. Sazerac, even Pappy Van Winkle.
Pappy's is in.
It's going to get more expensive now.
So Pappy's is going to get more expensive. How is that possible?
It just is. I'm telling you. Weller, Eagle Rare, all of it. That's all the same Buffalo Trace, baby.
I thought Blanton's and Buffalo Trace were the same distillery, but I'm wrong.
No, Blanton's is a different one.
Yeah,
Buffalo Trace they do Eagle Rare, they do Weller, they do Pappy. Lots of stuff comes out of there, but it is a national nightmare.
We're bordering on alcohol abuse, is what we're bordering on.
It really is. Thanks a lot, River. That's
climate change.
Party foul.
See, we think climate change won't affect you, but here it sits.
Until it affects you.
Right there.
Like this. I knew this was going to happen. And this is why I don't really like to travel out of our country, because I really do believe that most other countries hate Americans. And I just don't want to go somewhere where everybody hates me. Well,
you come to work every day. Thank you, Greg Shelton. He'll be here all week.
I honestly think I'm nicer to Greg than anyone in our whole building, and he still hates my guts. He just really does. I don't get it. I'm always friendly and cheerful with him, and he's just so bitter towards me. Yeah, I don't even know where to go from there. But now that
working amongst people that don't like you.
Yeah, that's what it is. But now, I'm not going to blame any one person in particular, but some of our nation's politics have rubbed other countries the wrong way,
as we have for a long time.
And American tourists are being treated more poorly in these other countries than they ever have been in the past. There's stories of now people giving intentionally wrong directions to Americans. Now it does. I mean, this is even in Canada. This couple went to Canada to go skiing, and someone, like, they told them, hey, we're novices, we're trying to get down. They intentionally sent them down the most dangerous slopes.
Yeah, go right. It's actually pretty funny.
And she said, she sent us down the most terrible way. And we were like, do you think she did that on purpose?
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, they've got like MAGA beanie caps, MAGA ski masks. It's like, oh, yeah.
Take a ride. You'll get down faster.
You'll be just fine. Just fine.
So now can we there have been moments where I've been places where if anybody asks, I'm Canadian.
That's not a bad.
There have been times, but I guess now the Canadians don't even like that.
No, nobody likes us.
Don't claim to be us.
I think I'm going to say I'm from Greenland.
Well, that's almost American.
It is kind of
almost.
I'm. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, I don't know. I'm from Greenland. I don't know who else talks like us. I wish I could do better Australian accent because Australians speak English technically, and that'd be an easy sell, I would think. But
that's one of the. They're even mad at us. We can't even go there for safety and solace.
Maybe New Zealand.
No one likes the Kiwis.
Well, I don't know then. I think we're just screwed.
No one wants to be a Kiwi.
All right. We have one segment remaining before Rob and I get out on the course, start crushing beers with our people, and the whole goal of this thing is for us to have fun with you guys. And that's what we're glad of everyone who came out and played today. And if you're listening and you didn't get to play today, well, maybe be a little quicker on the draw next time because we told you we're going to sell out of this thing, and now we're sold out. And we're going to be having fun with people, and it won't be you because you didn't get signed up on time. So if you have FOMO because of that, good. Let it be a lesson to you. So we'll wrap up the show the way we always do on the other side by taking a look at the daily lines. It is the Morning Huddle live from the Golf Club of Texas for the Spring Golf Classic on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More, the place to go for. Sipping rosés with seltzers on ice. Making margaritas with your favorite tequilas. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on spirits, beer, and wine. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
If you've been waiting and waiting to get your eyes taken care of, tired of wearing those glasses, tired of wearing those contacts, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get it done. At Manrique Custom Vision Center, Dr. Manrique prides himself in getting you out of those glasses or contacts with his blade and pain-free LASIK, which is totally safe and comfortable. It will give you the best possible vision, and you can throw out the glasses and contacts. They've got over 25 years of experience, and they've done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. They offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today to set it up. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. Every patient benefits from a customized vision plan that they bring to life with state-of-the-art technology, a variety of options to help make your treatment an investment you can afford and the right people. Change your vision, change your life today. It's Manrique, 210-354-2020.
If you owe money to the IRS, they'll come after you until you are flat broke. Don't just roll over and take it. The IRS has changed. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a huge break, as much as 87%. Haven't filed a return for years? It's time for Guardian Tax. Their happy clients are celebrating.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Is tax debt ruining your life? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Visit GuardianTax.com or call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717. 800-900-1717.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, yeah.
It's Rock the Casbah. I didn't realize we had turned our speaker on. I guess because they're all out on the course, we can
we crank it up,
broadcast to the streets.
That's right. To the people.
If you haven't been out to the Golf Course Club of Texas, they have a great bar in the afternoon when you're done on the 19th.
It is
sitting out on top of the hill. It's a great bar. They got TVs on in the evenings if there's a game on, and around the corners they've got a couple of areas to kind of hang out in the afternoons. This is a great place to come hang out in the evenings just for a cold beer. I mean,
it is. It looks like a good setup, man.
Bring your putt around, drink some cold beer.
Hard to beat that.
You coming to get my bag here, Renee? Okay.
We'll trade you for some beers.
I'll trade you for a fine.
We're about to be out on the course crushing them, baby. Crushing them.
See, Renee is grabbing his Flight by Yingling bag for the putting contest. We've had one qualifier already, right? Did we have one?
He won one. We got another one that they're qualifying for.
So we got another one. So that one's won.
He realized that the one that he brought out was too easy to win.
Yeah.
So he got another one that now you're gonna qualify to win. Like we're gonna have a putt off eventually because Renee made the putt way too easy. And I saw when he set it up, I could have made that putt.
It's like the third guy that showed up.
I know.
Won.
I said but Renee didn't want to listen to me, and now he's down one bag.
He's those beer guys.
Down one bag.
They're
all right.
arrogant.
Let's wrap up the show the way we always do by taking a look at the daily lines.
Did you win any money on the Masters?
Huddles. Look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1
What about how I
San
thought?
Antonio Sports Star.
That took a bath.
Yeah, Alex Volkanovski got the win in the main event.
I expected a little dude. He ain't little.
He's just short.
Yeah, but that dude's
he's
scary.
shorter than everybody that he fights, but he put it on Diego Lopez.
He did.
And Michael Chandler got beat up by Patty Pimblett. Patty Pimblett said, "I'm the real deal, Bubba."
That guy reminds me of Kerry Von Erich. I don't know why.
He's like a English Kerry Von Erich.
He looks like Kerry Von Erich
because he has the same haircut as him. That could be it. But yeah, announced himself as a real contender as well. And Bryce Mitchell, the Nazi sympathizer, got choked out. I always like that. Two great things happened on that fight card. A man who has been arrested for beating up women got knocked out. And a man who said Hitler would be a good guy to go fishing with got choked out.
A Nazi sympathizer got choked out. Good.
That made the whole night a success. That and win a little bit of money. That's always the
I was impressed with the little guy.
With Volkanovski.
Boy,
what a dude.
He's quick on his feet.
All right. Let's get into the lines for today. Major League Baseball. The Pittsburgh Pirates send Paul Skeens to the mound. Paul Skeens Day. Taking on Brad Lord.
Now, his last outing, Skeens did not have a good one.
Yeah, the worst of his career. And here he is today, a minus 220 favorite I cannot recommend betting on Paul Skeens. That is an absurd number because the Pirates are not good.
No.
Even if Paul Skeens is, if you think the Pirates win by 2 runs, -1.5 is even money on the payout. I'd rather play that than -220. But I would also probably rather just play plus 185 or whatever on the Nationals.
That's where I'd go.
The Giants send Landon Roop to the Phillies. Taijuan Walker going for the Phils. Phillies -120. Seth Lugo and the Royals go to the Yankees. Carlos Carrasco goes for the Yanks. Yanks -140. I actually do like the Yankees today. I also like the Red Sox today as underdogs. Tanner Houck and the Red Sox +110. They're at Tampa and the Rays.
In that little stadium, right there.
Wind is blowing out today in Tampa, they said, which I'm so like anytime I'm reading about the weather conditions in the mornings, I always wake up and see what the weather's going to be like for these games, see if there's any money to be made. And it's like wind's blowing out in Tampa. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, they play outside now. The Rays -130 is favorites. Grant Holmes and the Braves take on Easton Lucas and the Blue Jays. The Braves -120 on the road. Tarek Skubal. Scoobly Doobly -155 at Milwaukee. The Brewers send Tyler Alexander to the hill. Clay Holmes and the Mets are at Minnesota. Joe Ryan going for the Twins. Twins -120. Fromber Day for the Astros. They are -110 at St. Louis. St. Louis -110.
They're at 110.
With Sonny Gray.
They opened at 120.
The Astros did?
Yeah.
Means money on the Redbirds. Jamison Tyone. +130 for the Cubs. They are at San Diego. Dylan Cease going for the Fathers, -155. And Antonio Cinzatella goes for the Rockies against Big Red, Dustin May, and the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers -345.
We love us some Dust. Is it all Dustin May? Is that what it is?
No, I think it's the Dodgers
I thought it was
against
Dustin
the
May.
Rockies.
Dustin
No.
May throws some heat, baby.
I think it could be me pitching for the Dodgers. I might be favored against the Rockies. Give me that lineup behind me. All right, you got a shot here, Bubba. You got a shot. I did want. I guess we'll look at the NHL and then I'll give you the latest on the series odds for these NBA series. The Chicago Blackhawks are at Montreal. Remember we talked about they need a win badly. They are -285 to get it done against Chicago. Probably a good number. It's a crazy number, but for a team that isn't, if they win this game, they're in the playoffs. My guess is they get the job done.
Oh,
the New York Rangers are at the Florida Panthers. Florida -175. Dallas headed to Detroit. The Stars -125 on the road. A couple of eliminated teams. The Utah Hockey Club -150 at the Nashville Predators. Predators +125. And the Vancouver Canucks -310. Who could they be playing? That's right. The San Jose Sharks. And the LA Kings -110 at Edmonton, also -110, of course. All right, to the NBA, Rob. The playoff matchups mostly set, and I've got the odds for the first couple play-in games. Hawks are at the Magic. Magic -5. Grizzlies +7 in Golden State.
I like 5.5 if I can get Orlando.
You want Orlando?
Well,
or you want Atlanta?
I like Orlando.
Okay, then you want the 5. 5 is the better number than if you're.
I'm sorry. I have them at 5.5. I like the 5.
Okay.
I have them at 5.5, and I have the Warriors at 6.5. I like the Warriors at 6.5 far more than Atlanta at 5.5.
Okay. Heat +1 at Chicago. Mavericks +5 in Sacramento. Those are the Wednesday games.
What do you think the Mavericks are going to do here? Because it would be so easy.
Generally think they're going to roll over and die?
It would be so easy to roll over and die. It really would be easy for everybody involved just to call it a day and let's get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure Sacramento is capable of taking it from them. But I get the sense if you could just land a punch against the Mavericks, just get one in, they'll quit. I just don't see a lot of want to in them.
All right, here are we've got 4 series that we know are going to happen. The 3-6 series in the East, the 4-5 series in the East, 3-6 in the West, 4-5 in the West. We'll start with the 4-5 in the East. The Pacers against the Bucks. Who do you think is the favorite? What do you think the number is?
I was going to say the East goes chalk, but for this.
I was shocked at this number, quite frankly. The Pacers are favored minus 190. They're almost 2-1 to win this series.
Yeah.
And you like the Bucks.
Well,
huh?
no, I like the Pacers, but I thought we were talking about higher seeded wins.
Oh, okay.
But I think the Pacers are a game here, but I think the rest of the East probably goes chalk, but for this series.
Okay. The Nuggets, Clippers. Who's the favorite?
See, the Nuggets should be favored. They should be, but no coach and turmoil, a bunch of old dudes that are hot as fire. It feels like Denver has every excuse to lose.
The Nuggets are favored, minus 160. Clippers plus 130. I'm going to back the Clippers.
At least in game one.
I think the Clippers get the job done here. I think that they are. Yep.
Beer run.
Oh, hello. Hi. Okay. I don't think they heard me. The Clippers plus 130. I'm going to be on the Clippers plus 130. Because I think they're the better team right now.
They're smarter. They're more savvy, and they've got the two best players anyway in this series.
I'm also going to go against you on the chalk in the East on this one because the number is so absurd. The Knicks and the Pistons. The Knicks have home court advantage. I get it. I don't trust the Knicks to beat a good team 4 times out of 7.
Well, I'd like to see Detroit beat them.
Detroit is plus 330 to win the series. The Knicks minus 425.
I get it.
I think there's real value on the Pistons in this thing. So I'm going to take the Pistons there, and then
and game one for the whole series.
In the whole series.
Well, I'd love to see Detroit do it. I'm a Cunningham fan. I'm just not sure they're ready yet.
And if you want the spread, so like if you think the Pacers can, or excuse me, the Pistons can keep it close, it's like Knicks minus 1.5 or Detroit plus 1.5 games is plus 145.
I'll tell you this: if the Pistons win this series, Tibbs does not survive the summer.
Oh, okay.
Well, you already had players bitching that they're playing too much, and if you come in tired and lose to a team like this, that you should beat them.
They do generally bitch about things like that. When it comes to Tibbs, it doesn't last long. And the last series, the Lakers and Timberwolves.
Man, I love this. Is going to be so much fun because not only do we have Luka and Anthony going at each other, we've got the JJ Redick experience coming in. If they play defense, they can win this thing. I like the Lakers in this.
Lakers minus 190, plus 155 coming back on Minnesota. I think that seems about right.
Yeah.
It gives Minnesota a good live chance, which I think they've got.
They've got a puncher's chance, but we're talking about Luka because of what he did last year, and there's still LeBron on the other side.
It's also quite frankly shocking to me that thank you. You brought me the traditional. You thought that I wouldn't worry about my body. Okay, yeah. He said, he's not worried about.
See, Dr. Torres.
He's not worried about watching his figure. I'll bring him the full flavor.
Right here.
Full flavor Yingling for AJ. He didn't want to bring me that light stuff. I think it's, quite frankly, the Knicks Pistons odds are almost offensive to the Pistons.
It should be.
Plus 330.
It should be offensive. They should be. I would be furious if I have the Pistons. No respect, but it is the Knicks.
Minus 425 seems like the line on like the Cavs and the Magic or something like that.
It should be. But
this is like the Pistons are a pretty good team.
They are. But this is the money fell on because of what we saw the Knicks do last year. And I don't know if Detroit's capable of just going into New York. I just don't think they can. I
just don't think New York's as good as everybody thinks they are.
And I want them to lose.
I think there's a legitimate chance. I really am.
I don't know why, because individually, only guy I don't like is Carl Anthony, but I like Jalen Brunson. I like that team. I like Mikal Bridges. But I'm rooting for him to lose.
Yeah. So there you go. There is your look at the NBA playoff series. And again, as the week goes on, we'll know more and more about who's playing, who's not. Where are those guys coming from?
What hole are you guys on? On 11.
We'll see you guys in a little bit. Tequila and Fireball? Are you guys going to do some shots with us?
All right.
It's a deal. We'll have our own cart. Don't you worry.
Wave to San Antonio. You're on camera.
That's right. Hey, gals.
Now you see why we're going to 11.
My goodness.
Arjo's one louder. It goes to 11.
I can't tell from here. I think they might be in love with us, Rob.
They are.
I think they were. Are they waving at us?
They are.
I think.
Waved again.
God, they are in love with us. I believe it, Rob. Oh my God. We'll see them on hole 11.
And again.
And again.
And again.
And they've got tequila?
They've got tequila.
You know we're going to hole 11. That might be our first stop, Rob. My goodness.
How much time we have left?
There you go. There is your look at the daily lines.
A couple things. Yesterday, saw the Spurs kind of close the season down. And over the next couple of days, we're going to have some legitimate conversations about some guys, and Jeremy Sohan's first and foremost.
You said something that surprised me. You said, and I don't know if this was just like locker room talk, you having some discussions with some powers that be. You said the feeling may be that Mitch is back next year.
And granted, it's other guys in the press, but some of the guys that are in their orbit, that are in the buildings, that are at regular practices, there seems to be a current of, we're not going to let this year's distractions set us off the plan that was already in place. And the plan that, we're going to continue with the plan as it was formed. And whether it's Pop as coach or Mitch as coach, that's going to continue. I would not be surprised if that was the case. I would be a little upset.
I would be too, because it feels like you're sticking to your guns on something that has almost been proven to not be positive EV.
And it's hard to, watching the game last night, there's the team just isn't very good, and there's some of its effort and some of its talent. And I don't think that Mitch should be judged for that, but unfortunately he needs to be judged for it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately that was the situation he found himself, and that's the job that you took. And unfortunately, I don't think it panned out as well as it could have. I don't think anybody expected greatness, but I was really surprised by and a lot of it was just the emotions of the end of the season. But it did feel like it would not be a surprise if Mitch is named the head coach.
I would be shocked at that
as the season begins. If no Pop, and we'll keep our fingers crossed with that. But
it's a Mellow Monday, so we've got to give away $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Let's go. Let's keep it simple for Vic. Caller 3. You're going to win $50 to the Mellow Mushroom. What a great pizza spot that is. So enjoy that. Caller number 3. Guys, it's been great being out here at Golf Club of Texas. We're going to be around for a while. We'll do the award ceremony out here. If you missed out on this spring's event, don't be a dummy in the fall. Get out here and golf with us. And if you missed out on today, you know what? You can still come see the station. Joe and Jason will be at the Hangar Bar on Petranco from 2 to 6. Make sure you go out and see those guys. Ask Joe to autograph something for you. He loves that.
Fiesta medals. We have medals.
I know. This is awesome. Jasmine's going to be my chili queen. She's making me a sash.
You are golden.
She said it. She's in. All right, friends, we'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Enjoy the golf. Let's face it. It's like the Masters 2.0.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and